Sorry about that. I just saw that I was muted. So, good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody. It's another one of those late night streams on a Thursday night. Yeah, it's my bad. Sorry about that. My apologies. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I know it's late where I am. It's like 9:30 where I am, so I know it's probably late where you are as well. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out. So I actually because these streams are these streams are in support of my being a part of the Face of Horror contest, and I try to like spice them up and do stuff a little bit different than the things that are typically going on my channel or the things that are currently going on in the rest of the community's channels. I know that there are topics out there that are difficult or topics out there that are frustrating. And I see this as kind of an opportunity to not only kind of shill for myself for being a part of the, trying to win the Face of Horror contest, but also an opportunity for us to kind of like hang out and have some fun and, enjoy some stuff that we all, things that we all enjoy in common, that we have in common. And this is an opportunity to do that. Oh, thank you so much, Frayed Edges, for 10 Aussie dollars. Says, JL, you rock, buddy. This is one of my favorite YouTube channels. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Frayed. I do appreciate that. And that goes a long way to helping me, continue doing this stuff on this channel, and of course, the stuff that I do outside of this channel. So thank you for helping me keep up the work here. I do appreciate it. Forgive Jerry, I saw that. We're gonna get around to that. So, but thank you so much for hanging out. So I have some stuff in store. So, just so we'll run it down. So first and foremost, let's say hi to whoever's in the live chat. Let's see who we've got here tonight. I see Fred Edges was here very early this morning, as a matter of fact, 9:18 a.m. Says, get those last minute votes in, people. Let's make JL the Face of Horror, because we all know that it is definitely a scary mug, and it is a scary mug. So I appreciate that, Fred. He says, I once drove out to a secluded cave system in Victoria, Australia at night by myself and crawled down to the darkest depths. I turned my torches off, sat down in the dark asking for evil spirits to get me. That's a true story. My plan was to grab the evil spirit just before it got me and make it my bitch. Now it just bitches all day that I don't get out enough. Got that. Sounds like my last relationship. Before I met my wife. Doctor Who Design, good to see you, Doctor Who Design. Thanks so much for being here. Elizabeth Sylvester as well, who's a channel member, a member of the Godless Army. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Says, JL, hope you're feeling better today. I am feeling a little bit better. I currently have some lidocaine patches on my back because I have a terrible back. My lower back is just not in great shape, just from a previous injury when I was much younger, when I was playing football. And occasionally, if I just, I'm getting old, I'm getting up there, and if I happen to move or move, something the wrong way or step the wrong way, then it can twinge on me, and it did that. Luckily, it's not as bad as it was. I've had my back completely lay me out and send me to the hospital. It's been so bad where my entire lower back just seizes and I can't walk. So I've had that happen. That did not happen this time. This time, it's just a matter of pain management. So, but yeah, it does make me a chronic pain sufferer. But, it's not incapacitating, and I can still function, and I can still get through it. I don't really take pain meds. I don't really like them, because I try not to allow myself to become too dependent on certain things, and I don't want to become dependent on pain medication. So I typically tend to, do the stupid man thing and just muscle through it, make it through the pain. But sometimes it's a little too much. So I have, my wife got me, Angela got me some lidocaine patches for my back. And I did not know. I learned something today. I did not know that many of these patches have capsaicin in them. And that capsaicin works as a natural analgesic. And I had no idea. Pepper paste you can use to reduce inflammation and reduce pain. The new one on me. So, wow, I was quite impressed. But yeah, so it's making me functional. I can turn around, I can move. So just an old athlete injury is all it is. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gavlar's here, member of the Godless Army, says, well done, JL. There can be only one. Thank you so much. There can be only one. Facty as well, member of the Godless Army, is here. And Tom Roberson as well, says it's showtime. Yep, both members of the Godless Army. Angel Rivera as well, says currently first in their group. Yes, I am. Thank you, Angel Rivera, member of the Godless Army. There's Raven Darkstar. Good to see you. And I see Donnie does that as well. Says, hey, everybody. Another member of the Godless Army. Thanks so much for all the support. And I see Joshua, Hello Baby is there. It says, awesome screen. Thank you very much. I put that together just to kind of indicate what kind of stream it's going to be. So it's not the typical stuff that I do, and it's, regarding Face of Horror. So I appreciate that. Hello, baby. Thanks so much. And thank you for all the votes as well. Joshua Lee's here. Says, hello, everyone. Good to see you, Joshua Lee. And I see Raven says, y'all missed a great stream last night on Educator's channel. That was an interesting stream, to be sure. And I see that Tom Roberson was there in the chat. And hey, Baby Doll Ironton, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you hanging out. So yeah, that was an intriguing stream over on Leducator's channel. And I know, I gave him a huge thank you for letting me on his stream, and I gave my apologies because sometimes I tend to kind of take over, especially when faced with certain things, like flat Earth and stuff. So and I know it seemed like we stole the stream away from a little bit, but towards the end, it worked out okay and everything was good. So yeah, it was wild, but a fun time was had by all. Good to see you. Yeah, Joshua Lee, I do dig. Epidemic Sound, man. You get yourself an Epidemic Sound subscription, and it is amazing. One of the best things I've ever gotten for my channel as a subscription to Epidemic Sound. It is absolutely worth it. So, see, Forgiven Jerry, good to see you. Forgiven Jerry says, ooh, what's this? This is a horror stream in support of me on Face of Horror, and I'll get into the details of that for those who are not aware, because I know we have some new people here. Oh, good to see you, Tony Regime. And let's see, a member of the Godless Army, Tom Roberson as well, member of the Godless Army. Thank you so much. Yep, unfortunately I was muted. I do apologize. Yes, Chuck in Tennessee. Occasionally I pull a boomer. Yeah, and what's weird is I don't often do that, but Irish does it a lot. So what can you do? Let's see, who else we got here? Let's see. Oh, for goodness, it was 7:34. A little light outside. That's cool. Rodent No Last Name is here. Another member of the Godless Army says, vote early, vote often. Thank you so much. Denova28 as well. Good to see you, Denova. Appreciate you being here. Yes, that was fun. That was a lot of fun on that stream. Forgiven Jerry is now a member of the Godless Army. Thank you so much, Forgiven Jerry, for all the support. You now have access to all of the custom emojis that I have made for you and the channel badge, which is the expanding mind meme. So the longer you're with me, the more your mind expands. See what I did there? But I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Doxy McSnitchy is here. Good to see you, Doxy McSnitchy, who is taking names and notes. Good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Pat Dallinger as well. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. And who else we got here? Baby got back pain. That's funny. Angel Vera says, the lidocaine patches are not that expensive. They're literally a couple bucks per patch. So they're not that bad. You can just pick them up at the pharmacy, like right there in the over-the-counter thing. It's really, really easy. So, but they work really well. And they function about, I would say, 10 to 12 hours, depending upon your tolerance. Mr. Colby 2 is here. Says, hello, JL. Good to see you, Mr. Colby 2. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. And yeah, Forgiven Jerry says, the less drugs, the better. I completely understand what you're going through. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mark Beiser is here, member of the Godless Army. Says, maybe I'll try blending a few Pepper X and rub them on my back. Apparently, it's pretty much, the ingredient is just capsaicin. Well, technically the one I had was capsaicin and menthol, because it was kind of a hot icy hot patch, but wasn't the brand name Icy Hot. So, but it has capsaicin in it, and apparently that's a natural thing. So I think that's really, really cool. Armageddon's Fire is here. Good to see you, Armageddon's Fire. Says, good day, all. Good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. By the way, I didn't get, I never got like Irish's opinion on the one of the pictures I had. So all of y'all who've been voting for me regularly in Face of Horror, I had originally a picture up that I thought, and I got a few people commented. A few people commented that they really appreciated this one, and let me show you. So that was a picture that I took that I made up. So that was a picture that I made so that I could, and you obviously know who I'm trying to be there. You know who I'm kind of cosplaying as, and so I was hoping that I would get kind of like more of a response from. I was kind of hoping I was getting more of a response from like the New Zealand and Australia crew, but I think it was only a couple people like pointed out and says, "Oh, hey, nice picture," but I was really, really proud of how that one came out. I was really pleased with that. So I was really happy. So if you dig it, let me know. If you recognize it, let me know. For anybody who's in the New Zealand or the Australia crew. Let's see. Chuck in Tennessee says, wait, you mean no flat Earth? Yes, the Earth is not flat, but I ran into a flat Earther last night and had a conversation. A gentleman who's a great deal older than I am, but was. It was a challenging conversation, to say the least. I don't typically debate flat Earth. That's not what I do, because flat Earth is demonstrably false. It's demonstrably wrong. I don't debate demonstrable facts. I will occasionally debate evolution, because evolution's a bit more difficult to understand. It's not like you can just prove evolution with geometry. Flat Earth you can debunk with just basic geometry. Basic mathematics proves the flat Earth. But of course, there's observations. Professor Dave did an amazing stream where he broke down like 5 ways you could prove the Earth is round without using science, which is pretty impressive. So, yeah, I just typically don't debate it. And I found myself in a conversation because he got mad because I kept lumping flat earthers and anti-vaxxers and soft-sits and all. I kept lumping them all together. Irrational beliefs, irrational behavior. And he didn't like that I kept doing that. Cindy Johnson, good to see you. Another member of the Godless Army. Thanks so much for being here. And it says, you kind of take over. Yes, I kind of take over. Understatement of the year. This is true. Yeah, big personalities tend to do it. I've noticed I do it. Irish does it. Team does it. A few of us just have a tendency to do that. Have a good rest, Cindy Johnson. Thanks so much for popping by. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Holy crap, you ran with it. The words are blurry and JL is blurry. It looked clear to me. Let me know in the chat if the image looks blurry, or I'm not 100% sure. If it looks okay to me. Everything's coming up on my screen roses. Not 100% sure. Let me see who else we got here. Grifty McShardy Pants says, have I got a deal for you? Oh, excellent. That's good to hear. Let me know what it is. Let me see. Last name, Gabba Gabba to you. Aaron Reese says, Icy Hot is not good for your testicles. No, it is not. It absolutely isn't. And thanks for being here, Aaron Reese. I do appreciate it. Free Chili's headphones says, I have Nutella on my pads. That's fantastic. It's always good to have them there so you can just and just go after it. Be sure to smell it first. Let me see here. Who else do we got in the chat? JLCGI. Yeah, Mr. Andrad, good to see you. Yes, it is JLCGI. So I had some fun with that one, but the lighting came out right and it looked good. So I thought, this one looks fantastic. It looks like I'm legitimately outside. I thought that picture came together really well. And then you got the night vision one that I created of me with the Descent monster, with the crawler from the Descent. Forgiven Jerry, yes, Sovereign Soul, you are correct. Absolutely. I didn't want to. Pretty much anybody who listens to his stuff knows. Bit of a woo believer, and of course, flat Earth was problematic. Whatever. You can't measure Venus. It was very, very weird. It was very strange. Let me see who else we got here. Scrolling down. Make sure I get caught up. Yeah, people saying that it's clear. I apologize, Hello Baby. I don't know why it's blurry. You may try reloading the stream or reloading your browser. That might help. So just a thought there. Gosh of Heckfire, good to see you. Thanks so much for hanging out. One of the coolest names on the internet. Also a member of the Godless Army. Appreciate you being here. This is good evening. Thank you. And Forgiven Jerry says I had to go with him on his beliefs a long time ago. Yeah, a debate would be pretty tough. It would have to be very heavily moderated. I could tell you that. Hello Baby says, maybe it's me. Oh my god, I'm rotting into fecking dust. It's all good. Your browser's blurry as I'd expect after 3 drinks, but I'm only starting my first. Well, I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you very, very much. And let's see, Tesla Bit and Radio's here. Good to see you, Tesla. Says good evening. And Joshua Lee says, Bridge the Divide. Just make sure you thoroughly wash your hands after using capsaicin. She applied them. She put them on because it's hard to get them where they need to be because it's literally right around the small of my back, as the muscles around the small of my back. So I had to have her apply them. Let me see. It's just your... Aaron Reese says, it's not your screen, Hello Baby. It's just your eyes going into shock at that face of horror. Renee... I'll just say Renee. Renee, hey, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I think I got everybody. I think I got everyone. If I missed you... Oh... Ronell Sam says, shit, I've been voting for you in the face of horror contest. Oh, either way, win's a win. Anyone you can walk away from. So, appreciate everybody being here. Thanks so much for hanging out. So, for those who are new here and are not familiar with what this stream is about, is I entered a little deal called the Face of Horror. And I entered it because for a couple of reasons. One, the prizes are amazing if you win. 2, it's fantastic. It is absolutely amazing basically kind of like a shout or amazing shilling for our horror podcast, for Week in Horror, which is the horror podcast we run. And so it just worked out fantastic. So I'm actually going to share this over here. So this is my profile on it, and I swapped back over to the Mick photo. And I'll tell you what. Let me do this. Let me go back, and I'm going to put it on the underground. Put on the descent picture because I thought people would like that. So visit the profile. There we go. So we currently are 11 minutes out from when they do the next cut. So the cuts are done every Thursday, but it's about to get really, really interesting. Okay, so this next cut will be done in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. They're going to cut to the top 5. So the group started. So everybody who signed up, essentially, if you signed up for the Face of Horror for the contest, everybody who signed up got in. It doesn't cost anything to get into it. It was pretty much throw your name in the hat and then get through it and then try to win it, because it's a popularity contest. It's people voting for you, and it's going out there being a part of social media, and it's a one-off. We get prizes, you get prizes if you win. They get the free advertising for putting their name on this. That's pretty much all it is. Now, the prizes are pretty badass. The prizes are one horror enthusiast will win $13,000. Can't shy away from that. That's pretty nice. A walk-on role in an independent film. That independent film will be directed by the host of this whole thing. That's Jim right there. So Jim does all the little videos for us and keeps us, gives us the heads up and everything. But yeah, Jim will is also a film director, so he will be directing the movie. And so it's a walk-on role in one of his films. A 2-night stay at Buffalo Bill's house, which is pretty badass, in Philadelphia. So looking forward to that. And then, of course, the iconic location of Silence of the Lambs, and then go head-to-head with horror legend Kane Hodder in a photo shoot for Rue Morgue magazine. The thing about the photo shoot with Kane Hodder is it will be done at the Buffalo Bill house in Philadelphia. So it's going to be amazing. So there are 9 rounds total in the entire contest. So 9 rounds, and then the final selections. This thing won't be decided until we're in November. So we're going to go all through the month of October. And so we're 9 minutes away from the selection, and these are the people. So all these people you see on the screen, scrolling down, these are all the people who are in my group. All the people that started in my group. And so of all these people, the very first cut, they cut to the top 20, then they cut to the top 15, then they cut to the top 10, which is where we currently are. Me, Matthew, Tara, Kate, Billy, Curtis, Shannon, Esme, Bailey, and Jerry. And so they're going to cut the top 5 out of this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the end of this 8 minutes, and we did see some changing. There was a shift. Matthew's votes overtook Tara's votes. Tara was in second place for a long time, and now Matthew was in second place. Then Tara overtook him and was there for a couple weeks, and now Matthew has overtaken Tara. So, but otherwise, these have pretty much remained unchanged. Curtis was in second place for a minute, but then he dropped down pretty quick. But this is where we are, and so I'm imagining when they do this cut in the next 8 minutes and 18 seconds, it's going to cut to me, Matthew, Tara, Kate, and Billy. And so we will be the top 5. So this is where they were all eliminated, just used a lot of bullets. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Clive Wells is here. Good to see you, Clive, with the obligatory ghost. I appreciate all the alternative energy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know if there were fatalities involved, but I can neither confirm nor deny that. I really can't. Oh, thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate that. All right, so... and Frayed Edges. Aaron Reese's channel is called Media Macabre, and it's Macabre. There you go. He just put the link in there. Media Macabre. Check it out. He's building that channel up. If you haven't had a chance to pop over there and see Aaron Reese is one of the hosts over at Week in Horror. He's building his own channel. He just got it kicked off. He's got a magnificent setup, and he talks about some really, really cool shit. Get over there and subscribe to him as soon as you can. He's a really, really good dude. And, he's one of the hosts on Week in Horror, so you can help to support him there. All right, so... what will happen here is they're going to make the cut to the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the top 5 people, and then after, so I'll have made it to round 5. When round 6 comes around, and they do the selections for round 6, this is basically how it will break down. They will make the cut to the top 2. Okay? So, and those people will make it into round 6, 1 and 2. Then after that, they do a cut. Oh, see, if I'm in, if I remember correctly. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think I've described it. I've described it before, but essentially they're going to then after this cut to the top 5, they'll cut to the top 2. Then in between the next rounds, they'll basically put all of the 2s into a group by themselves and do a cut to the top 1s of all the 2s. And it's kind of like it's the reanimator round. It's a chance for the number 2s to stay involved. Then in the next one, they take all of the 1s from 5 and all of the 1s from 6, and they put them all into 7 together. So that will be all the ones that made it through, and it'll be a whole new group, and then the votes will be reset. So reset back to the beginning. And then everyone starts out from there. So they'll put everybody into a group, all the 1s and the 2s, and then they'll cut down to the top 1, and then they'll combine. So these groups, there's a whole bunch of groups. The groups keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then eventually they'll lump us all up into one big group, all of the ones that have survived all the way through the end, lump us all into the Apocalypse group, and then that's when the final cut is made. Or I think the Apocalypse group and then the final cut group. And then the final cut group is all of the ones that have lasted throughout the entire thing, and then whoever wins that is the one that wins the grand prize. So essentially, no, you don't have to do algebra on this. Essentially, it's very, very simple. And I'll explain it, and I'll explain within this 5 minutes. 1, I just need to be at the top of every round that I am in. That's it. So just keep me at number 1, and it's golden all the way through. That's just the easiest way to do it. Just keep me at number 1, and we won't have to worry about any switching around or moving around. That's pretty much all it is. And how do you vote? For those who are new, how do you vote? So you can go to my profile, and here's the link. The link is in the description, and the link is in the live chat. If you go to my profile, you can link, and this will, okay, to do this will require a Facebook account, okay? So you go to my profile and you hit free daily vote. You get 1 daily vote for free every 24 hours. So essentially, if you clicked it now, or say after the reset, if you click it, you have 24 hours before you can vote again. So it's important, to get the most votes, to maximize it, is to do it like right there at the start, and then every 24 hours pop in and do it again. Because it'll be a 24-hour window, then it opens up, and then if you wait, it'll still be there. You can click, and it'll be another 24 hours. That's pretty much how it works. So you get 1 free daily vote. And to verify, that verification required is talking about there is your Facebook account, is how that works. Now, you can get more votes. You can get more than 1, but these are the scare votes, which is help us support B+. Now, the B+ Foundation is down here, the Andrew McDonough Foundation. And I looked into them, and they're fantastic. They are the largest provider of financial assistance to families dealing with pediatric cancer. This is the only reason why I would bring this up, because looking into their history and looking into the track record, this foundation is really phenomenal. And so if you wanted to, but it is not required, you are not required to do this. Only if you want to, only if you're able to. You can donate to the B+, and for the amount that you donate, you get votes to go along with that. And then, or you can put in a custom amount and do it that way. That donation will go straight to the B+. 100% of that will go directly to B+, and then the votes go to me to keep me in there. That's pretty much all it is. But if you're not able to, or if you're unable to, which is just fine, you can always free daily vote for me every single day. That's pretty much what it is. So, I appreciate everybody who has voted for me. I did see that you can do this. Scrolling down, I do see that there are top voters. I can look at this. So, a huge giant thank you to Tony, to Jeffrey, to Gia, to Alice, to Aaron. I see Aaron. Aaron, you're on there. Dwayne Johnson, apparently. I guess The Rock is voting for me, which is pretty badass. Jared Baker, there's Aaron Reese, good, thank you so much. Joshua Lee, Elizabeth Sylvester, Thea Knight, and then recent scare votes, Gia, Jeffrey, Tony, there's Tony again, Aaron, Sheila, Alice, and people left me some comments. Anthony, there's PhD Tony left me some votes, fantastic. Andrea AZ Jeep Girl, Mike Caffrey. So they do list it out there. So you can see like down there, the top voters who were there. So I really appreciate it. See, AZ Jeep Girl, I see you there. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. And thank you for all of the votes and all of the support. So, going back to my profile, it looks like we got 1 minute and 47 seconds. But you'd have to tell us which one it was, Frayed, because I don't know which one you are. Oh, hey, Christo, can hear him. Good to see you. Thanks so much. Appreciate you being here. Rodin Sam says, sent you a vid clip on Discord to play when you win this round. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me check that out. So it looks like it got 1 minute and 25 seconds before they do the cut to the next round, and I will make the top 5. And I'll be making the top 5 because of all of you, because of all of that support that you give me. So I do appreciate that. Give me 1 second. Let me remove that for a moment and pop over here. And I don't know if I can play that way. Well, maybe I can. Isn't there music attached to that? Oh, that is wild. It's very cool. Large team pepper. Oh, very cool. Thank you, Rodinella. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony Regime. Appreciate that. I ought to look into that. I really ought to. That's a very long clip. So we'll jump in here, and looks like we got 30 seconds. It's the final countdown. Sorry, I'm terrible. Let's see. Donnie does that. Says, have you looked through at the other groups, seen how big the overall pool of competitors is? I have not. I only have access to my group. Well, as far as I can tell, I only have access to my group, and I've only been bothered to like look at mine. And here we go. There's the cut. And I wonder if I should just reload. Boom! There we go. And the countdown has reset to 6 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 45 seconds. I'm currently still in first, and I have advanced to the top 5. Fantastic. Thank you all so much for the big-time support on this. I will likely get a text message from Jim, or from Face of Horror, letting us know that we made the top 5. That's awesome. So thank you all so much for the super support. I appreciate that. And copyright. Go ahead, Bridge the Divide. Let's see. Hey, CIA. Good to see you. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Joshua Lee says, random question, Bridge the Divide. Do you guys cover Japanese horror movies on Week in Horror? For example, I Saw the Devil Eats the Killer. We do. We cover all horror. Everything. So if it comes along and it's been released that week, we definitely will cover it. We've covered Japanese horror, K-horror, Indonesian horror, Filipino horror. So we do cover, like I said, the list of horror films that we have to cover is long. We have enough films to cover every single day of the year for going into season 6. Going into season 6 is when things start getting slim because we've used up a whole ton of stuff. That's when things get sparse. When we have certain weeks that spike, but some weeks that really don't. So, but we're getting there, slowly but surely. But we have plenty of time. But yes, we do cover those as well. Forgiven Jerry says, I Saw the Devil is a fucked movie, and I mean that in the best way. It was an amazing film. Thank you so much, Tesla Bit and Radio. I appreciate that. Thank you, Fred Edges. Yep, your votes received. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Aaron Reese says, the individual voting window also resets each round, so you can vote as soon as it happens. It's true. You can vote right now. So because it just reset, you can pop over there, and you can vote immediately. So we'll paste that up, and there's that link, so you don't have to go in the description. But there you have it. And because he wanted me to, because he sent it to me and he wanted me to play it. One. That's all my follower support right there, just kind of flowing into me. It's all the support, all the love coming in. It's so powerful it has to be animated. This is actual footage. This occurs to me after I actually leave the stream. That's when I have to like sit back and I have to let the windows blow in, and I have to scream out there can be only one, and then I fly through the air and everything. But it's so chaotic that I prefer not to live stream it. Pretty much. When it comes to horror, I do. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. And that's typically the look that Angela gives me afterwards. Every single time. Without fail. Thank you so much for the clip. I do appreciate it. It's always fun to watch. Highlander's a classic one. All right. Hey, Mr. For Twitch is here. Good to see you, Mr. For Twitch. I appreciate all the support that you gave me on the stream last night with Leducator. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was entertaining. Abby Paulin is here. Good to see Abby Paulin, another member of the Godless Army. Thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. Let's see. Freydage says, I started watching the series The Strain. It's not too bad. Yes, I have seen it. I did. And I was really impressed with how close it stuck to the books. I was pretty impressed. Guillermo del Toro and Carlton Cuse do some really, really good work. Let me see. Let me see. If you're gonna, the look of you going to clean up this. It's like, who's going to clean up this mess? Thank you very much. So yeah, it gets like that. It's crazy. When you just know as much. What am I gonna do? I mean, come on. You look around me. It's like a museum to the genre in here, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Let me see. Like for example, it's because I keep finding cool stuff like this. Okay, like Stephen King's Dolores Claiborne on freaking audio cassettes. I mean, at one time, it's the whole book as read by Francis Sternhagen. So it's the whole book, and at one time, this bad boy retailed for like $75. At one time, this thing was just like crazy expensive. But there you go. On freaking cassette tapes. Just like that. Because I keep finding, because my wife will find stuff, I'll find stuff, cool stuff like that, and I just can't help but pick it up, just add it to the collection. Wild stuff. I do wish I had a Predator suit. That would be cool. Halloween, Laura Rader, no doubt. Halloween is always fun at my house. This is the month that I kind of live for. Like every month is pre-Halloween until we get to October, and then it's like 31 days of Halloween. I love the month of October. I love the I love the weather change. I love it. It just seems like the month of October, and this is what's wild. So get me wrong. Let me see. What Teddy Ruxpin did you kill to get audio cassette? I know, right? so Laura, going off what Laura just said there. Correct me. Just get me if I'm wrong on this. Let's just think about this as like Americans. Just people in America. For those of us who live in America, I know I have a lot of people that are overseas. But even overseas, you may agree with this. There's something about the month of October. And whether it's spooky or it's ghosts or, doesn't matter what you believe in. But there's something about the month of October that is literally the best time just to be a member of society, to be alive. It seems to me, at 42 years old from what I've seen, the month of October typically brings out the best in people. Not Thanksgiving, not Christmas, not anything else. Because everything else is specifically either been co-opted by something else or is centered around a particular ideology. If you look at the 4th of July, it's pretty much all about nationalism. If you look at Thanksgiving, you're all around family members, and family members typically come together, and sometimes those can get rowdy and those can get kind of ugly because there are certain conversations people don't like to have or certain topics that come up that are kind of, whatever happens like this, politics, religion. Thanksgivings get ruined very, very quickly. Or they tend to be kind of boring. Just because people are so busy trying to make with the nicey nices that nobody, that nothing like real goes on, and so there's kind of a facade there, kind of like Easter Sunday, in that respect. Christmas obviously co-opted by the malls, and the need to sell, like the busy shopping day is always the day after Thanksgiving. So, but I find that October, leading up to the Festival of Samhain, leading up to Halloween, it's literally the most fun and the most enjoyable time to be a part of society, because there is no capital other than buying candy. But what do you do with the candy? You give all the candy away. That's the point. The more candy you have, the more you can give out, the more happy trick-or-treaters you can make. Carving jack-o'-lanterns, doing all this stuff, decorating up the house, spooks for the fun, scaring people for the fun of scaring people, pranks, stuff like this. It's always fun. And you just do it. That's why there isn't really the capitalistic, or I hate to use the term capitalistic, there isn't really the commerce drive for Halloween like there is for Christmas. Because, and it just seems to me that the month of October, people really are at their best. And they have the most fun. Because it really is a selfless time to share the spooky season with everybody, It brings us all together. This is why I love October. This is why I love this month. I really, really do. Clive Wolf says, Halloween isn't much of a big deal in the UK. We have Guy Fawkes Night on 5th of November, which is probably a bigger occasion. I get that, absolutely. And so this is more of a kind of an American thing. But yeah, that's the way I see it. Like here in America, October is really the best month. It's really the best month because there's a holiday at the end of the month to celebrate the lead up. You get to spend all October waiting for the time to go out, put on your costume and trick or treat and get candy. Or maybe for us, all of us adults, for decorating up the house and getting all the good stuff and scaring the kids. And everybody just loves it. And everybody walks away smiling. And there's no pretense about it. There's nothing that gets in the way of that. It's just to have fun. And that's what I love about the spooky season, about the month of October, about Halloween. Because there's no pretense about it. We're all going to be who we really are. We're all going to dress up in costumes. We're all going to have fun. Some of us are going to party our asses off. Some of us are just going to, put on a great time for the trick-or-treaters. Some of us are going to go out and trick-or-treat ourselves with our own kids. It's all about having fun. That's why I absolutely love it. Let me see here. Tony Regime says, I miss how we used to celebrate Halloween in the UK. We didn't trick-or-treat. We had fancy dress parties that lasted all day with bobbing for apples, baked potatoes. That sounds like fun. Exactly. See, my brother, I to pimp, you to hoe. Good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Says, my brother would work all year long on his Halloween decorations. Exactly. Abby Paulin says, one reason I love Halloween is seeing how creative people get with their homes, costumes, cars, etc. It's a great holiday. Exactly. And because it's not like we're doing it for us. We're doing it for everybody to all be a part of it. And there isn't even really a one-upmanship with it. Not with, like, decorating a house for Christmas. Everybody has a different take on what is spooky. Spooky is spooky depending upon who you are. So yeah, you can go elaborate or you can go kind of cheeky. Or kind of cheeky or kind of cheesy. Doesn't matter. Everybody has something that they love. Just like different haunted houses have something different. It's all about having a good time. That's what I love about it. Exactly, Aaron Reese. The police don't question the bloodstains on my clothes in October. So I got that going for me. Absolutely. Hello Babies is always my favorite month. I love it. It's when things are cooling off, is when things are really cooling off. We are not quite in the cold of the winter yet. We get to enjoy the fall harvest, the harvest season. I love it. I love it. It's why it is kind of, in that poetic sense, kind of a magical time. I adore it. Forgiven Jerry says, I was born in October, so jail loves me. Absolutely, 100%. Halloween is home decor shopping month, and it just stays up all year. There you go. Absolutely. So, yeah. Do I have a cassette player? Yes, I do have a cassette player. It is in the garage. I do. And the cassettes do work as well. In fact, they're dang near new. I think whoever bought that previously never actually listened to them. So, I got really lucky on that. That's why the box is in such good condition. There's barely, I think this was bought and it was pretty much put up. And they never actually enjoyed it, which is a dang shame. If I could get that signed by Stephen King. Oh, that would be so cool. That'd be kind of a dream for me. Yeah, that'd be fun. Sony Walkman, absolutely. Mr. Ford Twitch says I put the hurt on Sovereign Soul. I tried not to. I really tried not to. Joshua Lee, I'm actually going to be streaming Hellraiser. I'm going to be streaming it so that we can all watch it. I'll make sure that we can watch it. I guarantee it. Oh, let me see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, all right, good to go. Do you have leak? You have options on the site. I'm curious. I am very curious as to how many groups there are as well for Face of Horror. So I really, really am. So, Halloween is a break. Try growing up a Jehovah's Witness. Halloween is a break from the horror. Got that. Absolutely. So, yeah. Let me see. Again, love to see this. Isn't Halloween the time we solemnly remember the Team Skeptic Mankini incident? Probably. It probably is Clive Wells. No doubt. And wrote another name, November 1st, the day candy goes 50% off. You can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that. And don't forget, everybody who loves to carve pumpkins, and it doesn't matter when you start, we have a contest going on over at Week in Horror in the Discord for the 2022 Pumpkin Carving Contest. So you can submit the pictures of your carved pumpkins, and something, you could do something to indicate that it's yours, but submit the pictures of your carved pumpkins, and we will choose, the crew of Week in Horror will choose the top 3, and y'all will win something from the Week in Horror store. So a nice way to just was something fun to do. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that drawing, or we'll be announcing the winners I believe on episode 6 of season 4, which will be on the 26th. So submit those pictures if you want to carve a pumpkin, just so you can get in the contest, and then carve others later for the 31st. You can go ahead and do that. But yeah, we have the pumpkin carving contest. So submit your jack-o'-lanterns, and so you can see if you can pick up a prize. If only 3 people submit, then all 3 of them win prizes. Let me see here. And hang from the roof. Vacation. Yep, Christmas vacation. Aaron Ray says, I promised to wait and watch Hellraiser with my wife, just another sexually dubious date. Gotcha, yeah. No doubt. Oh, that's right, wrote another name. So, I will be doing... This was kind of a cool setup. So, you can look forward to seeing me on the 14th. No, the 13th. Thursday the 13th. You don't have to mark your calendars and like that, but you'll be seeing me Thursday the 13th over on Cheshire Vic's channel. We'll be having a horror discussion, talking about horror movies, and it's the spooky time of the year, so we'll be doing that. So I'll be over on Cheshire Vic's channel. It'll be the first time I've ever been on a stream with her, so this should be very interesting and a very cool conversation. I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of spooky stuff, speaking of spooky things, because this is the time of the year. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to... Yay, still first in my group. And I'm going to kind of bask in there. Yep. So me, Matthew, Tara, Kate, and Billy. There's all the people who were dropped. My friend Cody commented. He commented to me. I dodged a lot of thirst traps. There's a lot of thirst traps in there. There really, really was. So I dodged a lot of them, which I'm very pleased about. That may be the toughest thing that I have to overcome is thirst traps. Oh, let me see here. Let me see. It sounds cool. Fun. Which end of the pumpkin? Absolutely, frayed edges. I hope you do. Get your picture in. It's in the Discord community tab at the very, very top. 2022 pumpkin carving contest. You can't miss it. Let me see. Oh, Aaron. But Clive Wells says, I seem to remember that JL swears that Hellraiser 3 is his all-time favorite film, though sometimes he denies it. I will 100% deny it. Not my all-time favorite film, and the only reason I like it is because Terry Farrell is in it, because Terry Farrell is Jadzia Dax, and Jadzia Dax is one of my oldest crushes. So, Nocturnal Lux says, no idea you were into horror. So am I. Fantastic, Nocturnal Lux. I have a horror podcast, a horror film podcast that I run with my friends. Aaron Reese is there in the chat with Johnny O and Eugene and Alex. It's called Week in Horror. And as a matter of fact, you can use the link down in the description to go and check out that show. We are currently in season 4. So really, really pleased about that. We made it to 4 seasons of Week in Horror, all because of these amazing people in the live chat who have kept us alive with their support. Forgiven Jerry says, define thirst trap. So, oh, thank you, wrote another time. I appreciate it. But you're a thirst trap for at least some. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Forgiven Jerry, a thirst trap. Let me see. A thirst trap. People who, how to describe this? How to say, such a nerd. Thirst trap. A sexy photograph or flirty message posted on social media for the intent of causing others to publicly profess their attraction. And because this is a popularity contest, they profess that attraction with votes. Thirst trap is all it is. There you go, yeah. Someone who makes you want them, pretty much. Good point, yeah. Oh, thank you, Nocturnal Lux. Oh, thank you. It says you managed to say my name. No one does that ever. I will check out the podcast for sure. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you dig the podcast. Me and my co-host, we put a lot of effort into it, and we hope you really, really like it. It's not really reviews, it's deep dives, because we're all filmmakers. We all work in the industry behind the scenes. So it's like we're directors, we're writers, we're producers, and actors. So we all work in the industry, and so we deep dive these films to kind of go like what was going on with the director, with the writer, what was intentional, what was going on in society at the time, what are the reflections that this has, and because horror is a kind of like the barometer of what ails society. That's what the genre serves as. It allows us to vicariously kind of deal with the things that we don't normally that we can't compartmentalize. It allows us to put them in ways that we can understand them and that we can more easily deal with them and assuage the fears and the anxieties of our society. That is why the horror genre is so important. It's because it allows us to look at ourselves through a hyperbolic kind of lens and say, and typically, to an absurd degree. But because we see it in these terms, we're able to reconcile what the story is trying to tell us. And then we can apply it to our own lives and our own understanding, and allows us to compartmentalize things, feelings, and whatever that we typically can't. And allows us to function a little bit better. It is the steam release. It is the valve release on humanity. Scary stories. That's what they do. First and foremost, absolutely. So, let's see. Tony Regime says, I sent you an idea for a Halloween decoration in Discord. Oh, yes. I am familiar with that. With the Pepper's Ghost Illusion. I am. Absolutely. Ooh, Mr. 4 says, not really a horror fan, but a monster fan. Very cool. We do cover monster films well. Hyperbolic or hyperbolics. My horror decorations putting out a placard that says, we sell Amway. And then the track is literally whoop around your house. So, thank you so much, Raven Darkstar. Absolutely. And we're so looking forward. Nocturnal Lux, if you have not heard, and we just watched the trailer for it on a previous episode of Week in Horror, if you haven't heard of The Lake, which is I believe it's a Thai Chinese production that has a legit practical effects kaiju in it. Oh, go check out the trailer. You can check out the trailer on YouTube. It's called The Lake. And they built, much like Jurassic Park, they built a live-action, life-size kaiju. Go check it out. The trailer will blow your mind if you love kaiju films. Aaron Reese says, I find that if you place the traps just right, you will have a yard full of skeletons the next Halloween. See? Preparation. It's what it's all about. Sigourney Weaver. Love her to death. Nocturnal Lux says, I think I've heard of this, but have not seen it yet. Yes, definitely checked it out. That trailer was pretty solid. So, because just looking at me do a countdown on Face of Horror, that's one thing. And thank you all so much for all of the votes. I do appreciate that. You guys rock. But I decided to do something else because, it's the spooky season. So first and foremost, we are going to take a look at some spooky videos and see, are they real? Or are they fake? Were these real or faked? So these are supposedly some of the best ghostly encounters I could find on the internet. And it's kind of a small compilation of them. So we're going to take a look at, we're going to play these, and we're going to take a look and determine, real or fake. Or can we tell? Very curious about that. I think pretty much all of you know. You can probably pretty much... I got this kind of inspiration from the stream that I was on last night with Legicator and Softsit and, other individuals. But, Softsit, no, but Sovereign Soul and other individuals. So, Radar says, frack, bathroom break. Okay, I can hold it for just a moment. I can hold it? But anyway, so, yeah, we'll hold off for just a moment. So, I got the idea from the live stream that I was on. So, I was on a live stream last night with... I wrote it in last name. Ghost videos. That's why I want to put it out there. I want to take a look at it. So I wanted to. I was on the stream last night with Legicator, and there was Legicator, Ironton Auditor, Sovereign Soul, Blue Bear, Tones Overthinks It popped up one time. It was an absolute blast, and we had a lot of fun. But obviously there was a lot of pushback from Sovereign Soul when we were getting into discussion. There was a lot of science denialism, and I tried to get into, and I wasn't able to get into what epistemology was, because and this is the biggest thing. This is what made it harder. This also kind of makes it, because I was kind of challenged to a debate to come and debate him on like flat Earth or whatever. And the problem is that while he was talking, and we were kind of had a problem with talking over each other like this because he had a tendency to interrupt, and I kind of interrupted him as well. So the problem is that while he was talking, it was very evident that he had a break in his epistemology, and that essentially, the theory of knowledge, or how he comes to his beliefs and the things that he knows to be true, his epistemology is broken in that he utilizes two different standards of epistemology for different things. There are things that he accepts firsthand, like for example, how quantum, and I think Clive Wells could probably talk at length about this, how quantum mechanics works with a touchscreen on a smartphone. With being able to do stuff like this, being able to do stuff like that, that's quantum mechanics, okay? These are things that he accepts unequivocally based upon the evidence of it. We can test it. It's one of the things that you just readily accept. There's no magic about it. The science is understood. But then he turns around, and he does this for many things. But then he turns around and uses a completely different epistemology in areas that he has a confirmation bias, which is the primary issue. The confirmation bias being that we human beings are inherently special in some way, and we are not. So that is the confirmation bias. We typically, human beings can look around and we can say that we seem to be able to reason, unlike any other species on the planet. We seem to be able to ask questions and do stuff like that, and we seem to be the only ones who are able to do it. So why are we separate from everything else in our ability to do this? And so they try to come up with reasons as to why that is, and it leads to the confirmation bias that we must be special in some way. It must be intended for us to have this, because if it was not intended for us to have this, then many other animals would have it. But that's fundamentally a misunderstanding of how evolution works, and how evolutionary pressures work, and how filling a niche works. Our brains are superior, yes, but we are not the most superior things on the planet when it's just us left to our physicality. There are things out there that are physically superior, things out there that are chemically superior, things out there that are size superior. There's many things out there that can fly. We can't fly. They can swim better than us. We are so not superior on the planet unless we have access to the things we need, such as tools. But typically, a human being just on their own is usually in a world of hurt, in a place that has not been developed. So we're not special in that respect. We do have the ability to reason the way we do, but that's just because our brains are evolved to the point that they're evolved. So, and people want to hold on to that because it makes them feel special. It kind of validates them in the face of the uncaring, unfeeling cosmos. The universe is a very hostile place. We are so tiny and so small in the face of it, and we will be gone within the blink of an eye, cosmologically speaking. And so that makes you're looking at the existential crisis there. If nothing matters, then what's the point? Oh, I freak out. In order to maintain a kind of like psychological stability there, people will fall back on logical fallacies or confirmation bias in order to justify. It's like, well, I know that I'm special in some way. And they will do things, they'll believe in things that reinforce that confirmation bias. Flat Earth is one of those things. It just reinforces, and that's why they tie it so desperately into their identity, because it validates it validates them. That's where they get their validation. That's where it's like, I've got a bead on things. I understand it. I am not the arrogant one like all of those scientists who think they've explained everything. Wink, wink, Clive Wells. Is pretty much what it comes down to. And pointing out breaks in that epistemology can go one of two ways. It can go really, really well. It can go really badly. And fortunately, it didn't go too badly. I had a really fantastic conversation with Ironton Auditor after the stream was over, because the show always goes on after the stream ends, and it went really, really well. So, it's just the way it kind of goes. It's why I'm kind of hesitant, because he takes his stuff really, really personally. And it's because he's tied his identity into it, which is what makes it difficult, So, let me see. We want to make sure that that individual is back. Let me see. Who called for a bathroom break? Who was it? Used to love... Oh, fantastic, Ray. Used to love debunking paranormal YouTube videos. It was Raven Darkstar. Raven Darkstar. Is Raven Darkstar back? I want to make sure. Thanks. My pleasure, Raven. Absolutely anytime. Good to see you're back. Forgive Jerry says, confirmation bias. No, thank you. I'll just take my bubble and hear myself talk. Thank you. Echo chambers, man. Echo chambers. They're terrible. They feel good, but they're terrible. Lay Freak, say chic. Yes. Let me see. What if dolphins are smarter and they had hands? Then it would be a far different world, wouldn't it? It absolutely would. Aaron Reed says, I'm special. Bus policy said so. Laura Rader says, I liken them to Cliff Clavin. Cheers. Sitting on a bar stool, regaling bar patrons with his know-it-all expertise on every subject. Shrugs. It's intriguing. And like I said, I try not to... I've spent almost the past 20 years. It's not some kind of like humble brag. I spent a lot of years diving into these things so I would understand them and I could talk to people about them. I want to be able to understand the world. I want, when it came down to it, and I got to a point where I became an atheist, God was a logical contradiction that did not make sense to me. Logical contradictions cannot exist, that God does not exist. It's literally, believing in a God now at this point would be like believing I could walk off a building and on faith alone be able to fly. It's a logical contradiction. It does not exist. Okay? So I am an atheist in that respect. Now, when it comes to like God, when it comes to like deities, sufficiently powerful agents, I'm agnostic on that because it's unfalsifiable. But when it comes down to it, I try not to go around and just be like, oh, I know, blah, 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 like this. But when I get into conversations about this, that's how it kind of comes out sometimes. I try to avoid it because it can kind of be alienating, and I was really afraid being on that stream because Leducator invited me on. I was kind of afraid of alienating all the friends that I'd made when I was out east because every single one of them is a believer. And I was like, dang. So it's like, every one of them is a believer in their own right, and they all have their own individual faiths, and I'm sitting here like the big bad atheist of the group. And I was like, it always felt kind of awkward, especially when I was out east. It was a little awkward, because it's the elephant in the room. And I'm glad that it never really come up. But I was afraid that I'd alienated people last night on the stream. Fortunately, I don't think I did. So I think we all walked away still friends. Nocturnal X says, a long time ago I came across a news article. Dolphin is born with human arms. It had a picture too, and it wasn't online, an actually printed paper. Oh wow, was that Weekly World News? Let me know. Let me know. All right, so here we go. Raven Darkstar is back. And Tony Regime says, no, thank you. I was trying to remember it on the fly, so I just went with the sound spelling, and there's a name for that, but I forgot. Tony Regime. That was Forgiven Jerry that said that. Sorry, but I have to correct you. It's freak out, lay freak, say chic. Say chic, yeah. Like, say la vie. Maybe like that library in Doctor Who. Portuguese paper known for its very odd news. Interesting. Very interesting, Nocturnal Axe. Thank you for that. All right, so let's check this out. Who wants to see some paranormal videos? Who wants to see? Let's find out. I'm very curious. I found some clips. I put them together. I haven't watched through all of them. So some of these I'm going to be kind of like critiquing at the same time y'all are. Secular Pagan Mom, Jesus was pagan too, member of the Godless Army, thanks so much for being here, says, and it jumped on me. Is it a good thing that I missed this stream when you speak of Bridge the Divide? No, it was a good stream. It was a good stream. There was, mostly harmless. Yeah, right, Raven Darkstar's right, mostly harmless. So, I'm a hoopy frood. Yep, I know where my towel is. Damn straight. All right, so let's check it out. Here we go. Paranormal video number 1. So we got a living room here. Okay, falling objects. Stuff getting knocked off. Well, there wasn't a lot there. Hang on. Let's go back. Okay, so wait a second. So hang on a second. We got this object here. And then it just falls off. Which, because it looked like it needed to be pushed. Okay? Then boom, boom, boom. Then it comes off. Then it moves over there. And then that falls off. Okay, so this looks to me like it was set up. Like this was a hoax. Like this was fishing line. Okay, because first the drawer opens. So the drawer opens up on its own. And then doesn't close, just sits there open. Then something comes over here. Actually, you know what I should do? Let me do this. Let me remove myself so we can see the whole image. Okay, so the drawer opens. And then object falls off. Then the plant comes off. You know, it's interesting. You notice that, well, first and foremost, nothing really breakable fell, which is odd because it all looks fairly cheap. Everything and you're right, Freight Edges. Everything moves forward in the direction of somebody pushing it, or somebody pulling it. If somebody were to be pulling it. I'm guessing. I'm going to go out of line and say that this was faked. I'm saying that this. I will agree with y'all. So I see. Laura says, earthquake! LOL, yeah, unimpressive, agreed, Nocturnal Lux, yeah, people saying that it's fake, fishing line, fishing line, fishing line, and the reason why I'd be inclined to believe that is because if you look at the quality of the video, you look how blown out, okay, so if I was looking at this from a filmmaker's perspective, right, these windows are terribly lit because this is all natural light that's blaring through there, and all this natural light would essentially come up on the light meter as all zebras. Whenever you're looking at an image and you're looking through the finder in order to gauge your lighting, overblown areas, things that are blown out, will all appear like they'll have zebra lines on them. And that means you need to adjust your lighting to get rid of the zebras so that you can actually get that. So no zebras in the viewfinder is like rule one when you're determining your lighting. So all of this blowout causes bleed over into the darker areas. And so this blowout will actually help to obfuscate the things that might have light, things that might catch light, like fishing line. Because fishing line will catch light even when it's kind of like a shuttered room. So it'll catch all the ambient light because of its construction. So you want to blow out your image to make sure that you cover that up. And especially if it was well hidden. So I'm saying that, yeah, most likely this was fishing line. You know, that and everything that knocked over looked fairly cheap and not breakable. Like, if that lamp went over, or that table got flipped, or that TV was pulled out of the wall, or the glass broke, this is all expensive stuff. Nobody ever wants to break, no ghost videos like this I've ever seen ever want to break stuff, like really break stuff, like legit stuff. So, our resident says, well, what if you're a nature photographer trying to get a shot of a zebra? Well, you want to make sure that you get the zebra, but if the zebra appears to fill the frame, then you got a problem. Narrow it down to where all you see is the actual animal. Probably the neighbor screwing against their kitchen wall. All right, let's move on to the next one. Zebras! Zebras, as Irish would call them. Let's move on to the next one. This one, I think we're all in agreement. This one's fake. Same thing. Okay, I actually seen that effect before. So, some stuff flew out. Okay, so the drawer opened, and some stuff flew out. Okay. One, like two items came out of it, but from different sections of the silver, and then the door slightly closed. I'm thinking that once again. Yeah, Mr. Fortwitch, I think you're right. Fluorocarbon fishing line. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Because everything went in a specific direction to be pushed. It's not like, if we ever saw something come out of there and then kind of like move around like, woo, if all of a sudden it was like, whoa, that's a different story. But it always seems to go into one particular direction and really, really fast in order to avoid, because if you were pulling on that spoon slowly, you'd be able to tell because of this constant slack and tautness of the line. You would see that that kind of like you would see that play out in the spoon itself. So it's always like bam, you know, and they do it really, really quick. And also, as you can see once again, this kitchen horribly blown out by the light. Like this window right here is just awful. So, yeah, and then that's easy. That's just a door pushing, yeah. So we have an office. Empty office, supposedly. The chair swivels. Oh, he's watching on security camera. Okay. And then... Then it moves some more. And okay. Same house, different string. It's a good point, Facty. Fantastic, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Laura Raider. Why don't the utensils ever float in the air for a bit? Lazy ghosts. Lazy, lazy ghosts. The Sixth Sense called They Want Their Jump Scare Back. And Laura's Raider says, my office chair swivels on its own all the time. Exactly. If you have a disbalanced office chair, okay, then those things will turn on their own. Okay, it's just what they do. I'm thinking that this is literally I don't even think there was any. I'm going to say there's probably not even trickery here. There's probably not even trickery here. This is literally just a bad chair, and they happened to catch it on security cam, and they caught it turning, and they just kind of most likely someone got out of the chair and just walked out of the room, and then it just kind of turned on its own. Exactly, Nocturnal Lux. A swivel chair swivels. Amazing. Aaron Reed says, ghosts are full of anger and move furniture constantly, but never throw a baby. Not buying it. It's just awful. Okay, I'm thinking it's just swivel chair swivels. Okay. This one's very easy to explain. So, anybody who knows photography, especially with security cameras, because the way security cameras are designed and for mass production, you understand why this happened. Okay, obviously this is a night vision. This is obviously like a night vision image of a car park, and you have this figure that walks by here. So let's watch it one more time. And a figure right through the car goes forward, walks right through the deal, and goes towards the side of the deal. Thank you, Mr. For Twitch. Double exposure. Yes, anybody who understands photography, it's literally old footage being recorded on top of by the live stuff. And it's just something that bled through, most likely because of the lighting that was in the original shot. So this is what happens when they have new footage overlaying old stuff. And then you get occasional bleed through. And what causes this is because the equipment is cheap, and the stock and what they're recording on is typically digital. So, but when you have really cheap stuff, you get stuff like this. You get artifacts that, so it's essentially just animated artifacts as a result of overlap, of double exposure in the film. And it's always in one, it's always in one direction. But yeah, you can always tell this. They're very, very obvious. Anybody who knows photography well enough has debunked these before. So, yeah, that one was pretty good. Arteriston says, I watched some security camera horror Wednesday. A man distracted the cashier, and his partner went behind the register, stole her wallet. Oh, damn, that sucks. Well, I never stopped at double X, so I don't know. It's overlap for fuck's sake. Yeah, overlap for fuck's sake. Overtap. Mr. Anjet, that's amazing. That's awesome. And Aaron Reese says, night vision also picks up light from off-screen that bounces off the lens. Yeah, night vision is notoriously bad for recording in. Really, you want to film in infrared, but that's obviously expensive. So, infrared is usually the best. Renee says, yes, you see the same thing with paranormal baby crib footage. Absolutely. You see overlap of the parents walking through or a parent walking through the room. Exactly. Let's move on from the car park ghost, because that is obviously overlap. Oh, they did it slow again. So they're, in like quarter speed. So, yeah. Definitely artifacts. Oh, Mr. For Twitch says, I lived with a forensic technician. Okay, here we have a live one. Okay.
There it is.
Okay, creepy house. turn the light. Let's turn the. Sorry, we're gonna turn the not the lights down. We're gonna turn the volume down a little bit because that wind's kind of killing me, and I don't want to talk too loud to get over it. All right, old creepy house. First, you gotta ask, why stop at the creepy house and shine a light? I can understand maybe the curiosity, but just like random circumstance, driving down the road and having an encounter, why would you do this? You know, it's like, oh, hey, let's stop in the middle of this road that obviously is being used and shine a light on this house. Especially a light of that intensity. Why film it? Exactly. So you lead me to believe that it's staged, or...
Holy
Oh, okay.
Go.
Okay, so obviously what they saw was they saw somebody in the house. Now, they're driving down, they see this abandoned house. They say, why shine the light on it? Like, why film it? What's the purpose of filming this? Of, like, literally slowing down in front of the house so you can film it. I'm thinking that this was staged. It's either one of two things. It's either completely staged, and that they're one of their kids is there, and they're using the kid in order to be like, oh, it's a ghost kid. Or there's actually squatters living there with a child, which I wouldn't put off in the U.S. There's maybe squatters in there, and they're shining the light on them, and then it maybe woke up one of the kids, and they're looking out the window, and then they took off. Which is it's entirely, but either one I think is possible. And then is what I'm thinking.
Go.
It's either yeah. Oh, here. So yeah, I'm thinking it was either staged or squatters. Either one. Either way, I'm pretty sure the guys in the car, they knew something. They knew people were in there. So let's go. What's this one? We got something hanging on the wall.
Go.
That's fishing line. That, I'm going to straight up say, that was fishing line. And that's because you can tell that it's being pulled, dropped. And you see the backswing? It's not like someone's doing it with their hand, where they're moving with their hand. It's literally just moving in one direction, and then when they let the line go slack, you can see the return on it. So it's obviously, yeah, definitely fake. Totally staged. Easy to debunk. More double exposure. That's really bad double exposure too. A ghost that seems to be carrying something walking down the sidewalk. Yeah, that's good. That's that right there. Oh, there's and then pull, and let and release. Yeah. Pull and release. This may have actually been intentional. This may have been actually set up. It's entirely possible. But definitely an overexposure on that one. All right, what do we got here? Ooh, I thought I saw something move. Now we have a creepy house. Okay, so we know that one's cool-looking double exposure. Okay, I see somebody moving over there on the side. Let's back it up again, just slightly. Okay, I see somebody moving there on the side. Okay, somebody's walking there on the side. I got that. Is that it? And the dog's even aware of him. Because the dog's in the couch. See the dog's ears? Right there? I know you can't see my mouse. What am I like aiming with my mouse? But on the couch to the left, on the bottom camera, on the bottom right, you can see the dog's ears up, right? So watch the dog's ears. Let's back it up. Okay. Okay, yep. Hey, Surrender Monkey, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. And, okay, here we go. So the dog is on the couch. The dog's ears are there. So even the dog was aware. The dog was watching them walk away. So it's a person. Yeah, it's just a person in shadow. Okay, yep, set up. All right. So now we have, so yeah, from the creepy living room, I guess the dark living room, there's the dog sitting on the couch that kind of gives it away. The dog is aware that somebody's walking away because the dog is watching them walk away. So, yeah. Matter of fact, think. Yep. And then they walk away, and the dog turns its head and looks away. So the dog was watching them leave. So, yeah. Looks like it was just, yeah, that was faked. Completely faked. With a powerful magnet through the wall. Also possible with a magnet. That's true. You could take the magnet, and you could literally drag it along the wall, and whoop, and it'll swing. Yep, absolutely. What is this? Nobody lives a ghost anymore because it's not fair because now I get accused when my mom finds skid marks in her underwear. Surrender monkey. That's funny. That's great. Donnie says, those security camera systems also have an extreme compression that can cause those translucent effects in low light. Absolutely. Aaron Ray says, good news is no ghosts. Bad news is you got a guy in your attic. That's not nice. Don't put that evil on me. Here we go. Looks like we got a standard living room. Notice again, first and foremost, the blown out light. That's so horribly overexposed. What do we got here? The lamp turned on. That light turned on. Okay. That was it? Maybe I missed something. No, it looks like it was just the lamp. You couldn't see the dog, Surrender Monkey? Surrender Monkey. Here it is. Right side, below where the face of horror image is. Straight down, you see the dog's ears above the, sticking out above the sofa cushion. See him? There's the dog right there. So if I came on the screen, literally just go that way across, and then to the couch that's down there in the corner, and then look up, you'll see the dog's ears poking up above the couch cushion. That's where the dog is. The dog watching the person walk out of the room. Bottom right. See? Yep, dog's ears. Renee's got him. Yep. Freya just sees him. Yep. Aaron Reed says, I tried living in jail's attic and eat his food, but man, that man has never heard of a leftover. You can't let it go to waste, man. But you can see the dog's ears there, yeah. So, going back to this one. So Clyde was it the lamp may have been unplugged at the wall, or may have had a foot switch out of shot, or quite possibly a switch on the wall that's in the blind spot of the camera. But it's pretty much like it just turns on. That's it. Anything electrical is always suspect, especially when you can't see everything about it. You can't see where it's plugged in. You can't see if it has a foot button to turn on. You can't see if there's a switch somewhere. Ooh, now we're outside somebody's deck. Oh, looks like double exposure again. Oh, no. This looks like, I think this was just straight up faked. Right there. Moving it. That looks like, okay, that looks like it was straight up fake to me. That was just something done deliberately. Yeah, that looks like some Ghost Hunter stuff. Yeah, that looks like it was deliberately. It literally looks like somebody is holding something outside of the window, and then bringing it in, or they have something like on a hook, and then they're bringing it in. Yeah, that one's definitely fake. Definitely fake. Something. To be honest, if you look at the structure of it, just looking at the structure of it, it looks like somebody's like got something on a hook and is sticking it out the window, and then they're just pulling it into the house. See? And then it's going to go back and do it again. Yeah, that's totally fake. Yeah. Slowing it down was the worst thing they could have done because it made it obvious. Here we go. Another external shot. This may be a ring, or this may be looks like a patio security camera. So let's find out. I see it may be a ring because it's got the, that's artifacting. That's basically just camera failure. So I see it again. So what it is, it's somebody disappearing. So somebody there. Yeah, okay. This is the problem with artifacting in cameras like this, is that the person is there, but it's not actually catching them, usually because of light issues and because the camera's not resolving that area. So most likely, or it was overlap once again. But yeah, this is just, or it could be visual effects, but I'm willing to think that most likely, yeah. It's too clean in that respect. It looks like it's kind of like just eliminating from the footage. So, Aaron says, "Are you saying someone on the internet would lie for attention?" Absolutely. You can also get an erratic bulb. This is true, Clive. You can get an erratic bulb. Looks like a washout. Yeah. Anybody knows photography. Rings will also not record if you don't move. Good point. All right, let's back this up. Nice night over there. It's a nice moon. All right, we got a dark room. Filming in night vision. Never good. And we have more overlap. Yep. More artifacting of a person walking through the room. Someone set up the alarm.
Caralho, bicho, que é isso, mano?
Oh, got an action one here. All right, so let's jump to this one. So that one looks like it was pretty much, the action one looks like it was set up. That looks like to me that they were reviewing their footage and they found the artifact and they set it up to make it look like the to make it look in the footage like the ghost had moved through the room and then set off the alarm somewhere in the house. But what's really, really weird is that if you watched it, I don't want to play it again because it's obnoxious because of the alarm going off. But if you watch, the ghost goes through the doorway. Why would the ghost need to go through the doorway? It's a ghost. So why is it following the path that humans follow? Which is weird. Why not just go through the wall? You're a ghost. So we have, looks like Brazilian.
Caralho, bicho, que é isso, mano? Cuidado, Judá.
Let me know if you recognize the language, because I don't recognize the language.
Cuidado, mano. Que é isso, mano?
Okay.
Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho?
Got a slammy door.
Caralho, mano. Mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho,
Slamming doors could be
mano.
easily faked.
Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano.
Brazilian
Vai,
Portuguese,
mano.
okay.
Corre.
Tell you what, these guys are
Que é
armed.
isso, bicho?
They're saying, what the hell is this, man? Interesting. Thank you, Nocturnal Axe. Appreciate
Ai,
that.
mano, que-
So it was just... So something broke,
mano.
and it's just a slamming door. Let's take a look at the door.
Cuidado, mano.
So the
Que
door
é
is
isso,
slamming.
mano?
Interesting thing is the door keeps slamming every single time, almost the exact same way. So it doesn't seem to be losing momentum whenever it slams, which leads me to believe that something is on it, making it slam continuously.
Mano, não tem nada. Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano.
It's hard to make out because it's the plant behind the door pushing it LOL.
Mano, que é isso? Bicho.
Hard to tell. There's so much movement,
Caralho, mano. Bora.
and he keeps bringing up the camera. It seems like the plant behind the door, which is why would someone put a plant directly behind the door? Why would the door open up into the plant? That seems very, very weird. It seems like the plant may be hiding something behind it, like the motor that's causing the door to slam. Like, that's the purpose of the plant. Like, why would you put a plant in the house that the door opens up onto? That's very, very weird. And they never touch it. So, thinking it's a motor, and that the plant behind the door, which is a weird place to just stick a plant in a house,
Caralho, mano. Bora.
and he keeps moving the camera before you can see the bottom of it.
Caralho, mano. Bora.
Damn, that's annoying. I wish he just kept the
Cuidado,
camera on the
Judá.
base.
Cuidado, mano. Que é isso, mano?
Mano, não tem nada.
Okay, let me look at it.
Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho?
Hey, Feckinol, good to see you. Thanks so much for hanging out. Funny how when something else happens, all of a sudden you don't hear the door anymore. Interesting point.
Bicho.
So we hear this, and it looks like the door
Caralho, mano.
is swinging from the bottom. That's where the power
Mano, que é
is.
isso, bicho?
See, man, that's annoying.
Caralho, mano.
Ah, and he cuts away so we can't see the bottom of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is something down there at the bottom pushing the door, something motorized, pushing the door to slam it like that, and the plant has been strategically placed there to block it. But that's an excellent point. Donnie does that, brings that up. You hear the door slamming.
Vai, mano. Vai, mano.
Okay,
Vai, mano.
door
Vai,
slamming,
mano.
and you don't hear the door anymore. Then the door stops. Very odd. And then you don't see anything else.
Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho?
I'm thinking this was faked. That this was straight up faked. Nocturnal Luck says, they also say, be careful, swear a bit, then one of them goes, there's nothing here. Oh, okay, interesting. Mr. Fortuit says, yeah, rod going through the wall to a motor. Yeah, and Renee says, yeah, the plant is definitely suspect. Absolutely. And the door isn't getting damaged. The door is driving me crazy, Doctor Who design. Well, we're past that one. We are past the door driving you crazy. So let's see here. We are now in it looks like a living room. Let's see what happens. Another night vision security camera. What happened? I didn't see what happened. Something happened? Was it a noise? It was a noise. I don't see any movement. To be perfectly honest, you look at the mantle, I thought bottles were going to come off the mantle. I thought that's what was going to happen. Charlie Weld says, the plant is a plant! Yes, Aaron Reese, yeah, that was well punned. Brian Powell said, that looks fake. Yeah, I would agree. Good to see you, Brian Powell. Thanks for hanging out. I'm not seeing anything happening here. I heard a noise. But it's literally a noise. It could have come from anywhere in the house. No movement. Nothing. This was terrible. That was terrible. Come on. You gotta give me something better than that. I thought there was gonna be a flying baby. I don't know what was going on. Hey, George said, yeah, we did that at the very, very beginning. I am still in the top 1 slot for Face of Horror, and they have done the cut to top 5. So I'm very, very pleased about that. And looking good. Top 5. And I'll be watching it through the weekend. Of course, you'll see my call for votes popping up in virtually all of the live chats that I'm a moderator in. Let's go back and look, because I actually turned it down. Oh, I see a cat. There's a cat. Oh, okay. The black on the sofa is a cat. Okay, so let's do this. I'm actually going to bring up the volume a bit. And that black on the sofa, that's a cat. Because the cat raises its head. Okay, so the cat heard it. So this was something that actually occurred in the house. But the cat looked in the direction of the sound, which looks like it came maybe from somewhere upstairs, beyond the boundary where that light is up above. Someone in a bedroom somewhere. So That could have been anything. Someone snoring, yeah. So yeah, but it got the cat's attention. So the cat heard it. So it came from somewhere in the house. All right. Ooh, we got creepy walking through. An old, looks like an old office. Miss Rando, team whistling, absolutely. Okay, doing some urban exploration. Interesting that there's no lights on in here, but there seem to be lights on over there.
What the fuck?
Oh, come on. That had to be set up. That was totally set up. Come on. Obviously, creepy environment. Could that's just bad. That this was staged for sure. Creepy environment, you could say then.
What the fuck?
It's the what the fuck. It kind of makes it. Then he just looks. He's like he's out of there. Okay, so yeah, I think that was line again. Says, man, people watch too many horror movies. Wait, no shit. Absolutely think it's staged. Very, very simply done. Because it only happened on one side. So I'm thinking, yeah, totally staged. All right, so we have somebody asleep. And I don't think... What the fuck? I promise it's not one of those kind of videos. So, someone asleep. Okay. That's the dog. Oh, so the dog's on the floor, and it looks like the closet door opens. Gets the dog's attention. Okay, so the closet door opened. Boomer says, sus jail. JM Truth does paranormal activity. Don't inspect the one that moves. Good point, Andrat. Excellent point. Actually, let's go back and see this one. So this is literally a door opening. This is the closet door opening. I didn't know I was going to dip into so much weak sauce. So the door opens. Gets the dog's attention. It's pretty much all it is. Oh, and there's a cat there. Yeah. Is that a cat? Oh, yeah, it is a cat. Cat and dog and cat are there. But it gets both their attentions. None of them move. None of them move, which leads me to believe they knew somebody was in there. Otherwise, the dog would have been like, what the hell? So, yeah. Freddy says, what the fuck is my bedroom? How'd you get that video? Weak sauce. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we got another creepy location with a creepy Mickey Mouse. I like the slow zoom. The slow zoom into it. Oh, I see there's a face. Why the slow zoom? Oh, okay, these are pictures. Okay, cool. Let's back it up a little bit. So let's back it up, and we'll go here to the first one. All right, so supposedly creepy face in the window, which could be caused by anything. Could be somebody literally standing back there. It could be lighting. It could be a number of things. So face right there by the white pole looking thing. That looks like actually looks like a mask. Somebody's reflection. Somebody done up to look like that. That looks like, or it could have been inserted in post. Easily faked. Because they never look like normal people. They always look like scary monsters. That's either... I can say that is either something... given that it looks like that there's depth to that, that's probably double exposure. That's probably one picture bleeding through the other one. That's why you get all these weird artifacts that are above it. Like, if you look at this big... so looking at it, you see the kind of like weird lighting effects that are up above, like where the figure's head is. All those effects are because it's another image exposed onto this new image. So it's double exposure. So yeah, most likely I would say that that's double exposure of two separate images. When it gets up close, it doesn't even look like it's human. It looks like it may have been a picture of an object. Here's another one. It's a slow zoom. Obviously, there's going to be some... Oh, okay, I can see. Okay. So this could also be pareidolia, because we got to wait, because we're looking for... If we're expecting to see a face, and then eventually we put together that there's a face there. So I'm thinking that this is probably... Either that or this was completely set up in order to do that. So simple, it could be pareidolia or apophenia, or it was deliberately set up to look like that. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to make out a face, but if you look hard enough and you're expecting it, you can kind of see one right there, kind of center about a quarter of the way, or maybe a third of the way down the door. You can kind of see a face there a little bit, but it's hard to make out. So I'm calling pareidolia on this one. Oh, and that was it? That was it. Oh, okay. No. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. I see. There it is. It's kind of like their head is coming out the side, like kind of like they're doing this, kind of like looking out that way. You can kind of see it right there. And I'm thinking that this was likely pareidolia or it was set up. So, yeah, bad fake. And that was it. That was the last one. It ended with some photos, and then we're back to the living room. So yeah, that was the best I had. So there was some good ones that I came up with, but obviously double exposure fake's been going on since the early 1900s. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And there are other ones, but the problem is the vast majority of the videos that are out there are all people reacting to these videos. So it was difficult to find some that were just the videos themselves. So, but there you go. Yeah, all pretty much debunkable. All right, so... Yeah, pareidolia, the most powerful of all magics. Absolutely is. Nocturnal Lux says, I'm convinced. I mean, totally convinced. All right, so, given that, we had some fun. And Brene says, how about the infamous Tulip staircase ghost photo, though? The Tulip staircase. The Tulip staircase ghost was, if I remember correctly, was this one. Let me actually get it so that, let's see. And let me share this so that other people can see it as well. Let me see, tab, and then Queen's Ghost. No, actually, let me stop that. Let me remove that and present. Stop screen. Let me go present screen, tab, and then there we go. This is the Queen's Ghost. And you can see it right there at the bottom of the banister. And let me see if I can... I think that should be good. You can see it right there. That's the Queen's Ghost. That's the Tulip Staircase Ghost that Renee brought up. I think that this was a combination, that this was also trick photography. That's my thought, is that this was trick photography. And a lot of analysis has been done on it. I'm thinking that this was either a well done image, but it was intentionally done like this, or it was essentially trick photography. I think was the general consensus on this thing. If I remove that, sport the Mothman shirt, hell yeah, Mothman, the Brown Lady of Renham Hall. So if we look at this. Let me close that. So the ghost, as news of the Spectral Photograph. Let me see. So 1966, a retired Canadian reverend and his wife visited the Queen's house. The Reverend and Mrs. R.W. Hardy had heard about the famous Tulip staircase and took a photograph. Not until they developed it once they were back home, they saw it had also captured an image of a shrouded figure. On closer inspection, the figure appears to be ascending the staircase in pursuit of a second and possibly third figure. So the Reverend and Miss R.W. Hardy were adamant that the stairway was clear when they took the photograph, and a thorough investigation not long after was taken that it could not give a definitive rational explanation. Filmed them, recorded them, made contact with them by holding a stand, blah, blah. Detailed instructions were issued, more recent sightings. So what I'm leading to believe is that this was most likely a faked photograph, and the intention, and that it was well done for the time. And it was either that or, double exposed or whatever. And so trick photography, and in that, because of that, it kind of like brought up the legend, and then people began to see what they were expecting to see. See, Charlotte says, answer the Jehovah's Witnesses in the nude. A friend of mine did it, they never came back. Awesome. So, because this was also kind of a horror stream where we were talking about horror stuff, I want to take a look at some of this stuff. These are some trailers of new stuff that's coming out. And I always like looking at trailers. I never get a chance to just do trailer reviews with people and to kind of see what they think about the trailers that are coming out. So let's check this out. So here's some trailers that were selected so that we could take a look at them.
Amy LaFoy spotted it first.
Look like a local to you?
I don't know how you would tell. You ever seen anything like this, boss?
This guy's insides have been shredded.
It's Dr. Cole Parsons, physics genius. He leased a place up at Lynx Creek about 15 months ago.
I gotta head up to Lynx Creek. Gonna need some transportation.
Something happened to this house since I last saw it. It's not the same.
Generator's out.
Let me see if I can get it working.
Nice and creepy.
What is all this?
Black magic rituals. They are opening the gates to hell here. And I'm telling you, Parsons, he's at the center of it.
You're almost here.
What did you do?
Very cool. So that was the trailer for The Breach. And The Breach looks like put out by, directed by Rodrigo Godinho with Natalie Brown, Alan Hocco, Emily Alatalo, Wesley French, Ava Weiss. This looks fantastic. It looks to be in the vein of of The Void, which was a fantastic Lovecraftian film. Kind of looks in that vein. It's about a police chief in a small town days before his retirement. 2 days to retirement. Having to solve a murder when a corpse is discovered with strange wounds. Very intriguing. Let's see. The film. Washed up. Okay, so counting down his last days as chief of police in the tiny town of Lone Crow. Nothing bad ever happens in Lone Crow. John Hawkins must investigate one last case when a mangled body with uncanny wounds washes up on the shores of the Porcupine River. It's just awful. It's just who names these places? So this looks to be really, really interesting. It looks to be in the vein of... To me, it looks to be in the vein of The Void. So I'm really looking forward to that. Forgiven Jerry says, what this, the nun in La Llorona is the boom, jump scare. Yeah. Aaron Reese says, maybe the whole gate to hell plot will take some work to make interesting again, though. True. Tony Regime, 2 days to retirement. Definitely too old for that shit. Porcupine done it, definitely. I always love that from Last Action Hero. So that was The Breach. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Let me see here. Let's see what we got next. It's a house.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
This is 476 Barbary, right?
Yeah, I'm renting this place.
No, I booked it a month ago.
Are you sure you have the right place?
Yeah. Who am I supposed to do?
Why don't you come inside and we'll call these idiots. It's dry and there's a lock on the door. By the way, I'm Keith.
Tess.
You take the bedroom and I'll sleep out here on the couch.
God.
Sharing, double booked an Airbnb. Interesting. Uh-oh. And it's Bill Skarsgård, so...
Keith?
Oh, that's not right.
This process might seem overwhelming, but with a little practice, it can soon become a pleasurable experience. This is perfectly natural.
Oh, yeah. Barbarian, it's currently out right now, is one of the, Barbarian is one of the big ones that I've been looking forward to. It follows a girl who winds up finding out that the Airbnb she booked was double booked with somebody else, with this guy named Keith. And then while trying to get everything sorted out, she crashes for the night, and then things turn absolutely insane. And Justin Long is in the movie as the guy who actually owns the Airbnb, and he winds up getting involved as well. And there is something absolutely horrible and atrocious going on in the bowels of the house. So as you saw, going down into the basement like that. So, and it's been going on for a long time. So I've heard rave reviews about Barbarian. I cannot wait to see it myself. I haven't had the opportunity. I'm waiting for it to be streaming, because going to the theater is always a bitch, because of where I live. So I cannot wait, and I definitely will be showing this one in Discord when it's available. Absolutely. Just Surrender Monkey. Just film me opening my bills. That's real terror. Hell yeah. Let's see what we got next from IFC Midnight.
What a strange dream.
Forgive Jerry. Lights in my house go on now.
It was so real. It's something in the air.
Ooh, Alice Krieger and Malcolm McDowell.
Every
Fucking
pain. Every pain.
We really are
It's a solitary retreat.
Aha! La Dama.
You will get better.
My special girl.
Wash your bastards out of you. I'm having dark thoughts.
The earth was thought to have healing properties from the women who were burned as witches.
Would you go back and relive your childhood if you could?
We had a special bond.
Would you?
Purify the soul. Would you do anything?
It would torture you.
I'm sold. Alice Krieger, Malcolm McDowell, Dario Argento. I am absolutely sold on that. PhD Tony, oh my, look who is in the chat. PhD Tony has arrived. Very cool. This is like a cure for wellness, but with dirt. Entirely possible. Good to see you, PhD Tony. I'm so glad you're here, bud. We have missed you. I hope that you are doing well. Says, yep, Nocturnal Lux says, it did remind me of a cure for wellness. Absolutely. It does have that kind of vibe, but I love it. Alice Krieger, Malcolm McDowell, freaking Dario Argento. Power trio right there. Can't get over it. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to that one. Charlie Welch is here as well. This is cool fucking cinematography. Absolutely. Good to see you, Charlie Welch. The only man on the internet you never make a bet with. Good to see you, Charlie. Appreciate you being here. Gowdens Raver, good to see you. I think I became too soft. Even the trailers scare me. Oh, that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. For those who are new, who've just popped in, I just want to pop this back in. That is the Face of Horror link, so you can throw me a vote. I've made it to the top 5, so I'm very, very pleased. I've made it to the top 5, and seriously looking forward to the next cut, because because the next cut is when things get interesting. So I've advanced to the top 5. You can throw me a vote there at that link below. Thank you all so much for keeping me up there. Let's see what we've got for this next one. It's so good to see you, Peach Tony. I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you so much for popping in, bud. Totally missed you.
What is it you like to talk about?
My patient. Hi. I know you're nervous. I just want to have a chat.
Ooh, I know her. She was in All Cheerleaders
I'm
Die.
seeing something no one else can see.
The girl in
except
the
for
plaid.
me. It's smiling at me.
Oh my god!
Yesterday, a patient
smile.
in your care died brutally in front of you.
I need to find an explanation for what happened.
It's smiling at me. It's smiling at me.
That's not creepy at all.
You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to die!
I found 20 cases involving 19 victims with a direct line linking them all together.
You said only 19. Why is it that everybody else who's seen it is dead and you're alive? I've seen it too.
Get away from me!
How long between each victim's death?
None of them survived longer than a week.
Roth!
Today's my 4th day. I am not gonna keep running. I have to face it.
How does it make you feel?
I'm just really scared that something bad is going to happen.
Nice. And I know Smile just came out. I haven't seen it myself yet. Let's see. Tony Regime said he really enjoyed it. Scary, but I expected better from the character. Intriguing. I haven't seen it yet myself. Looking forward to it. As soon as it's available, I'll probably stream this one as well. Aaron Reese says, I love Dario Argento, but won't watch anything with his daughter in it. Oh, this is a bummer, because she's kind of hot. Smile seems to be scary as fuck. It looked pretty spooky to me, so looking forward to it. Laura Ridge says, God, Ginny Thomas, have you seen that Lincoln Project short of this trailer with her in it? Too funny. I have to check that out. Arterison says, don't worry, Bridge Divide. After 1 minute of voting, I told you we got you number 1. It will be forever. You are still number 1. I am the prophet. Confirmed. Confirmed, Ardo. You are the prophet. Thank you so much, bud. I hope you're doing okay, PhD Tony. I really do. Let me know. Message me up if you ever want to chat, bud. I'm always here. Forgiven Jerry says, now I grab my cat and I do not, not looking, the demonic Joker. Hey, Gavlar, the Hand of Zods. This morning, everyone, just on my way to work. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much, Gavlar, one of the coolest names on the internet. Appreciate you popping by. Another member of the Godless Army. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, bud. Thanks for popping in. Let's see what we've got next. That was Smile. And obviously follows a psychiatrist whose patient dies in a gruesome manner, and then she finds supernatural experiences building up in her life, and she has to get to the bottom of it before she herself is killed. Probably a little bit of After Effects in order to get that effect. Yeah. See what we have next from IFC.
Bad. When I was young, I did something bad.
Ooh, Rebecca Hall.
Unforgivable.
Loved her in
There was this man, and he was handsome, charismatic, and he noticed me.
Ooh, Tim Roth.
But I guess I wasn't as tough as we thought. What happened? Nothing. I just feel a bit off. Go away.
Are you speaking to me?
Stay away from me and my kid.
Okay, you are mistaking me for someone else.
I know him. I know what he's capable of.
I've missed you so much. The life we made was perfect.
Come after me. Come after my child. I swear to God, I will kill you. He wants to hurt us, but I won't let that happen.
I think you're having an episode.
I'm the only one that can see you. The only person that really knows who you are.
Interesting. So Rebecca Hall, Tim Roth, looks fantastic. And, excellent actors. Rebecca Hall was phenomenal in The Night House. I thought she was absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, Tim Roth, who I've loved in everything he ever done, especially his show Lie to Me, when he played Dr. Lightman. He was fantastic in that one. Based on actual science, which I thought was one of the best things about that show. Really, really cool. Looking forward to that one. Resurrection. Let's see what we've got next. From Saban of Power Rangers fame. Oh, it's a Western.
Like
Sweet.
gold, we know where enough of it is to...
Okay. For those who don't know, and I'm sorry to interrupt in this, for those who don't know, that's Glenn Morshower. And you've probably seen him in everything. Like everything around. Okay? Because he's always, plays like law types, or he plays lawmen, or he plays people of authority. People in the military, people in law enforcement, or preachers, or something of that nature. That's typically what he does. Glenn Morshower has a career going back so far, and he's been in so much, that you probably recognize, you probably may not have known his name. But that's Glenn Morshower. You should know him from 24. You should know him from the Transformers films. He was in Preacher. He's in virtually everything. Hey, Skooma Cat, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Another member of the Godless Army. Says, but one of the earliest things I ever found him in was in a horror film, a Lovecraftian horror film called Dead and Buried. And released in 1981. Now, it's not his earliest film, but I did find it, and he had a full head of hair. He's actually like red hair, and he had a full head of red hair. He played a high school student in that one. It was 1981, and I think he played like a senior in that. And Glenn Morshower was Jimmy, and it was his second movie. His first movie was Drive-In in 1976. And then his second film was Dead and Buried. And what's cool about Dead and Buried, it was a Lovecraftian movie that starred, not only was Glenn Morshower in it in a very limited role, very small role, but it had Robert Englund and Barry Corbin in it. So those are the names, but also one of the earliest movies of Robert Englund in a very small role himself. Him and Barry Corbin were both in very small roles. But it had James Ferrantino, Melody Anderson, Jack Albertson, But a very Lovecraftian little thriller that we watched over in the Discord. But it's so cool to see Glenn Morshower still working. I have met him on a number of occasions, not to kind of like name drop like that, but he's very well affiliated. He's very strongly affiliated with the Kim Dawson Conservatory of the Arts in Dallas, and he's a Texas native. So he would consistently pop by the conservatory to speak with the students, to talk with us, to hang out with us, and kind of share his stories. And so I've gotten to meet Glenn on a number of occasions, and he's a magnificent guy. The guy is just a phenomenal actor. I wish I could interview him sometime because the stories he tells are legendary. Just that he's that guy who's been in everything, but you just don't know who he is. Just the perfect character actor. Let's see. Gunnar says, Sly, do you have ever sort of horror experience yourself? I've had a couple of creepy experiences in my life. I have. I can tell you one. I can tell you actually a couple, yeah. But I've had a few of myself.
Make you a rich man.
There are many legends about the Blackwood.
Ooh,
So as you
the
travel
Blackwood.
forth from here, please take caution. Let's hope those stories I've heard.
Take it
are
easy,
all
PG
true.
Tony.
Two feathers. What do you know about this forest?
Elders would tell us stories of the cursed Blackwood, home to the devil.
We're not alone. There's something out there. We have a job to do here. We're gonna find the prospectors, get the gold, and get the hell out of Dodge.
The stories are real.
Ooh. Wendigo movie? I'm thinking Wendigo film. I'm thinking Wendigo because of the antlers, because of things antlers. I'm thinking a Wendigo film. Probably not going to be as good as Antlers was. Antlers was a magnificent Wendigo film. Absolutely love that one. But yeah, let me see here. I love how Jail says conservatory. Or a conservatory. Kim Dawson Conservatory of the Arts. Conservatory. Did I say conservatory, right? Yeah, this True Peach has a bit of a Burrowers vibe. Absolutely. I'm thinking Wendigo. As a matter of fact, let me look. That was Blackwood. Let me see. Okay. Tanaja Slaughter and Glenn Morshower. Dowanoe, a Native American woman, evades a notorious Dutch Wilder gang by escaping into the uncharted Blackwood forest. Once inside, they quickly discover that they must help each other, for they have unknowingly awakened an ancient ravenous creature known as the Wendigo. Called it. Called it. I called it. I know my horror. I just know my horror too well. Yeah. Yeah, Wendigo. Mostly it was because of the antlers, because the monster's antlers. But if you get the opportunity, Antlers. Oh my God. Produced by Guillermo del Toro. A Guillermo del Toro produced Wendigo film. It was absolutely amazing with Kerry Russell. The Antlers was fantastic. So good. Don't say Wendigo at night. Wendigo. Wendigo. And I do hope you're feeling better soon, Tony. If you do have to go, it's absolutely if you need to rest, but I'm glad that you popped in. I'm so glad to hear from you. I'm glad you're doing well enough to pop in, so I'm hoping you feel better soon. Aaron Reese says, okay, when the fuck are we going to get a solid Skinwalker movie? So here's something I can tell you. For those who are here, there's 30 people in the chat. Skinwalkers and the legend in and of itself. The Native American legend of Skinwalkers. Hey, some old dude. Good to see you. Thanks so much for hanging out, bud. Says, yep, I said Wendigo at night 3 times. The Skinwalker legend is so ubiquitous and is well known. Oh, did you? Oh, you did in The Empty Man? Very cool. Awesome. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but that's cool. So, Skinwalkers have been commercialized so much that they're often conflated with werewolves. And they're not. The Native American legend of the Skinwalker is typically a shaman that takes the form of a wolf or a wolf man in order to exact revenge for anybody who is wronged or done great harm to the tribe. And sometimes Skinwalkers go rogue because they lose control, because they're basically invoking a spirit in order to gain this ability, and it can drive them insane. So Skinwalkers themselves, as the Native American myth, are not typically done. People often, because of Hollywood and because of just movies in general, it's often conflated with werewolf stories, which is why you get like the movie Skinwalkers, which is about like two bands of werewolves that were fighting. So Skinwalkers have essentially been overdone, and then you have something like Skinwalker. Then you have something like the Skinwalker Ranch, which even further muddies the waters regarding this. So when it comes to the Great Plains Indians, all of them have their various legends, their various stories about monsters or evil spirits or demons, and the Skinwalker is one of the more prolific ones that kind of exist throughout the Great Plains. No matter what tribe you're in, there's varying stories, but they take a lot of different forms. Whether you have Skinwalkers or you have Wendigos, which are much further north, as Aaron Reese pointed out, and what's interesting, and what I want to kind of preface this with is that, but there are a few legends that are as yet untouched. One of the projects that Week in Horror is working on is in regards to one of these legends. That legitimately and I wrote it. I wrote the film. The monster that we're using in this, I have never found another movie that addressed this monster. And it is a legend that exists all the way from the Comanche all the way up to the Mi'kmaq. So north, south, east, throughout the entire, literally almost all of the nations have the exact same monster. Ubiquitous throughout all of them. And so I found this, but the problem is, there's not a lot on the legend. It's it's a very simple legend, and it's similar to the Skinwalker, but not entirely. It has some similar elements, like calling out your name from the darkness. Like, if you hear your name in the darkness, don't turn around, that whole kind of thing. And so I found this thing, did some research on it. I went to the Muskogee Museum and spoke to some of the people that were up there to try and get some ideas as to what this thing was. They didn't really have a lot of information off it, but they knew what I was talking about. And it has a different name all over the place, depending upon what tribe you're in. But it's pretty much always the same. So I found this monster, and I wrote a horror film based around this thing, about a paranormal team that goes looking for this thing and then runs into it, and it gets, and as Eugene likes to say, shit gets real. It is one of the projects that we are trying to get done here at Week in Horror. I don't want to give away too much about it, because I want it to be kind of a surprise. But yeah, that's one thing that we are putting together. And it is not to do with the Skinwalkers, because Skinwalkers have been overdone, but this particular one is really, really intriguing. I've looked into the red-haired giants, and it's overblown. When they say giants, if I remember correctly, the skeleton that the most intact skeleton they found in that cave was only 6'6". So a giant to them, because they were short, but not a giant by human standards. So, but interesting deal. Hopefully we can eventually get that done. But yeah, that's one of the projects that we are currently looking to get funded so that we can go and shoot it. It's going to shoot up here in Oklahoma, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But it's one of the cheaper ones we're trying to get produced. And all of these super chats, everything that comes in, all goes to helping that effort. So PhD Tony says, I mean, Ravenous is a sort of Wendigo-esque. Wendigos are often associated with cannibalism. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, the unending consumption. Let's see. Nocturnal X says, I wrote a short story about a giant jackalope once. It was fun. Very cool. I think 6'6" counts as a giant. All right, let's see what they've got next.
Parties and girls, it's gonna be lit. Later, man. My sis, going to Colombia.
Looks like I got the looks and the brains of the family.
I'm proud of you.
Okay, who are you?
Governor Finn wants all detained immigrants gone by Election Day.
God, like deported?
That is so Greg Abbott. I don't care what anybody says. That's Greg Abbott.
Zero tolerance.
The DA is offering to drop charges if he volunteers to help care for senior citizens.
At Owl Cove, we truly appreciate you being here to help out our seniors.
Ooh.
How am I supposed to eat this nasty-ass meatloaf? Psst, Micah, I suggest you say something, you know, because your skin.
I'm Argentinian, boludo.
If you stick to the program, your time here should be pretty fast and easy.
You will die here. Sorry?
Ooh, you really got away with the ladies.
Getting out of here.
What are you talking about? You trying to escape?
She was an accident.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Rachel, set you free. Rachel. It's okay.
Rachel. Hey, look what they've done.
I promise you, you stick with the program, you're gonna leave this place more mature. You may even gain a newfound appreciation for life.
Miss Phillips, you okay?
Arr.
Miss Phillips not breathing. Am I in here because I'm Latino or black? Or both?
And I see, yep, that was Jenna Ortega. I saw that. Jenna Ortega is kind of up and coming. She really is. Now she's playing the new Wednesday in the new Wednesday series on Netflix. Boomer says, calling it now. In the end, the last surviving character will become old. Oh, intriguing. Intriguing. Peace Tony says, I bet this is body organ farming. Possibly, entirely possible. Didn't give away a lot, but definitely something going on. Probably some sort of genetic, or something that they're doing, with the residents. But definitely some Lovecraftian stuff with the body contortion and stuff like that. Let's see what
I've never
this one
been
is.
summoned to therapy before.
You ready?
Let's go.
Ooh, Fred Edges for 2 Australians says, do you know about the Australian bunyip? I've heard about the bunyip and the yowie. So I did. Bunyip, actually, there's a an old children's rhyme with the bunyip. Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, I mixed it up. Sorry. I was mixing two things up. When I was growing up, there was a children's song I heard called about the kookaburra. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, but the bunyip was actually, I learned about the bunyip from the Shel Silverstein, poem, and if I remember correctly, the bunyip poem. Let's see, was it the bunyip? I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? No. I could have sworn there was a Shel Silverstein. Sorry, no, my bad. That was the Yippee Yuck. Sorry, my bad. So I'm thinking of the Yippee Yuck. So, but the bunyip, for those who don't know, the things you remember from childhood, I swear. The bunyip is a creature from Aboriginal mythology of southeastern Australia said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes. The origin of bunyip has been traced to Wemba Wemba, or the Wergaya language of the Aboriginal people of Victoria. It's usually translated by Aboriginal Australians today as devil or evil spirit. The contemporary translation may not accurately represent the role of the bunyip, but let's see. The bunyip is part of traditional Aboriginal beliefs and stories throughout Australia, while its name varies according to tribal nomenclature. Let's see. The bunyip has been described as an amphibious, almost entirely aquatic, inhabiting lakes, rivers, swamps, lagoons, billabongs, creeks, waterholes, sometimes particular waterholes in the riverbeds. Physical descriptions vary. For George French Angus may have collected a description of a bunyip in his account of a water spirit from the Murundi people of the Murray River before 1847, stating it is much dreaded by them. It inhabits the Murray, but they may have some difficulty describing it. Its most usual form is said to be that of an enormous starfish. The Chalicum bunyip, an outline image of a bunyip carved by Aboriginal people into the bank of Fiery Creek near Ararat, was first recorded by the Australasian newspaper in 1851. According to the report, the bunyip had been speared after killing an Aboriginal man. Let me see. So it looks like this is a bunyip. So it looks like that's a bunyip. 1935 by Gerald Markham from the National Library of Australia. Bunyips. So I did hear about bunyips. Let me see here. Let me go back here. And it's crazy enough because you mentioned that, and then I like combined two things because I know about the kookaburra song that I learned when I was a child, and then I remember reading the Yippee Yuck from Shel Silverstein, and I can't remember what book that was in. I think it was in Where the Sidewalk Ends. In the swamplands long ago, where the weeds and mud glumps grow, a Yippee Yuck bit on my toe, exactly why I did not know. So, yep, and the Yippee Yuck won't let go, and now my child lets you know exactly why I walk so slow. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, PhD, let's see. Elizabeth, okay, so PhD Tony, who lives in Australia, says, Alexander Bunyip was a character from a series of kids' books that got turned into a kids' show character. The statue looks like that. Is it a guy or a monster? I've seen, let's see, Call of Cthulhu game has bunyips listed in the monster index. Awesome. Cool, yep. Kind of cute. Probably horrible. That's why they're afraid of it. Forgiven Jerry says, I got an early morning tomorrow. I had a great night. Thanks for the laughs and scares. Thanks to this smart-ass Chad. Buenas noches, amigos. Have a good night, Forgiven Jerry. Thanks so much for hanging out, bud. Anytime. Always a pleasure to have you here. Gowden Draver says, they caught one? Speared one? And then PhD says, allegedly they did. So, don't know. But, yeah, that was the bunyip. So, let's see what we have here. From XYZ.
Damn, look at this place. Lynn?
Joe?
I haven't seen you since what, New York?
Oh my god, I am such a huge fan of your music.
Welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Frost. Over the next 3 days, we will embark upon a journey that will alter your lives. You will finally discover your true potential.
Hey, you okay?
I've been having weird dreams. And Frost gives me the creeps.
Enjoying your stay so far, Mr. Moulton?
Hey! You know she's cheating on you. You deserve happiness too, you know? It'll be our secret.
We have a lot of work to do. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh. We are baptized in shame, and in shame we live.
Give him what he wants.
I do not like little lambs listening to my secrets.
Intriguing. Aaron Reese says that doctor is on at least one state's predator list. Peter Tony says, we haven't had any sightings or encounters for a long time of the bunyip. Friggin' marriage counseling. Yep, Nocturnal Lux, Get Out vibes again. Yep, definitely get some Get Out vibes there. All right, this one looks like it takes place in the ocean. Let's see what we have. Ocean horror.
Hey,
Check this out.
Fuck
3
off.
days of paddling. 3 days. Don't worry. We'll take it easy on you. Thought I had something. That thing is stalking us. We have to help her.
The next island has reception and people.
Okay, what about boats? We head for that island, it'll come for us again. It's not gonna stop.
The Reef stalked. Looks like that one's been out for a minute, but I hadn't seen the trailer for it. But interesting. You know what? I will say this. I did see a shark movies kind of get me. I loved The Shallows. I loved The Shallows with Blake Lively. I thought she was amazing, and I loved. There was another one. That one sticks out to me. Loved The Shallows, but I recently saw The Requiem with Alicia Silverstone. Man, oh man, that aggravated the hell out of me. I did not like that movie at all. The Requiem was just obnoxious. Well, and I hate to say this because I really love Alicia Silverstone. I like where she has a certain niche that she fills very well in Hollywood as a comedic actress. Her timing is very, very good, but as a dramatic actress, she leaves a lot to be desired. And I was really aggravated because she was just so annoying throughout the entire movie. Like, she doesn't really do that kind of, like, intense dramatic. Like, Blake Lively knocks it out of the park in the Shallows. But Alicia Silverstone just came off as shrill and obnoxious in The Requiem. And she gave it her all. I gotta give her that. She really did. But, man, that was just terrible. Just a terrible movie. Requiem was just awful. Yeah, Nocturnal Lux. Yeah, The Shallows, you surprised me. Went with zero expectations, and I liked it. I loved what Blake Lively brought to that. It was awesome to see her in a kind of like in this kind of like Die Hard action film. But yeah, The Requiem, just absolutely terrible. Yes, that was the one with the woman where she winds up on the buoy, stranded out there in the water, and she can't get to the shore because the shark is hunting, because the great white is hunting in the is between her and the shore. So yeah, and you always notice that typically in shark movies like that, they usually have an Australian there to kind of give credibility to the shark, especially in groups. There's usually someone from Australia or New Zealand who's around, because their familiarity with sharks along the Great Barrier Reef. Sweetheart. So yeah, she was really, really bad. She was really bad at that. Let me see here. Sweetheart was a movie that came out in 2019. Survival horror film. Let me see. It was part of Blumhouse presents story of a castaway washed up on an island and must survive there while being stalked by a humanoid sea monster. I have not seen that. I will have to check that one out. Very good. I will have to check that one out. Called Sweetheart. Came out in 2019. Very interesting. All right. So we went through and checked out some trailers and checked out some spooky videos, but apparently were all fake and were easily debunked, which is kind of a bummer. We see here, Peach Tony says, Bridges Divide, interesting. The Shallows and Till Death both depend critically on the central performance, and they both work despite the actors not having the strongest reputation. Agreed. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Gowden Draper says, we know the sharks, baby. Hell yeah. So Gowden Draper, so anybody in Australia, New Zealand, did my picture of the picture that I took, where I did this one up here, if you look up there in the right corner, if you look up there, did I pull that picture off well enough? As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and go to the bigger one. Let me go to the bigger one. And let me move that, move that, and screen. Did I manage to pull it off? Let me know. So, Tony Regine says, my chin is too hairy to be accurate. Yes, my beard is too full, because obviously Mick doesn't have a full beard. He has the mutton chops going on. And I'm so looking forward to Wolf Creek 3. I absolutely am. Wolf Creek bad guy. That was the whole point, was to pull off Wolf Creek. Maybe I have a big knife. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't want to get the image kind of taken down, but I thought the image came out really, really well. I thought it looked pretty good as far as considering this entire thing was assembled, obviously, in this wasn't Photoshop. I think I did this in Paint. So, but that's Wolf Creek National Monument in the back. The sign was added in After Effects, and then of course I was added in the foreground. I thought it held up just for trying to pull it up, just for trying to like put it together. I thought I put it together quite well. Just putting it together on the fly. I think I put this picture together in about 15 minutes. With putting me there, putting the sign there so people could see it was Wolf Creek, and then putting the actual Wolf Creek crater in the background. So I was trying to pull it off. I'm glad. I hope I pulled it off. So, but I'm glad I did. Thank you very much. Credibility from just molesting farm animals. Jesus, Aaron. Oh, but I'm glad y'all dug it. I'm glad that it came across as a cosplay. That's what it was. I wasn't about to shave my entire beard into mutton chops just to pull that off. So, I'm glad I didn't do that. But I'm glad that y'all liked that one. And, of course, I've got the Descent one going on with me and the Night Vision with the Descent. And my wife has something planned for something later on, because I'm going to keep updating and doing new pictures and stuff to make it fun. So... let's see. PG Tony says, I'd only seen it small. Much bigger, I can see the problems. You only see the small version of it? Oh, okay. So, but yeah, either way. As long as it came across. Let me see. Oh, see small. Looks like a cheeky wombat that just farted. Thanks, man. Thanks, Fred. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. Now, Turtlelux, I actually happened to watch The Descent and Descent 2 recently. Just because, I was kind of laid up with my back. So it's like, I need to find something. So Neil Marshall, with The Descent was fantastic. I thought the sequel was kind of like, retread the same ground, but it set up for the third one. Unfortunately, we never got it. So, which is kind of sad. All right. So, thank you guys. I love the look in the eye. So, oh dear. Surrender Monkey says, oh dear. At 6 a.m. bloody YouTube, keep me up all night again. Killer Lumberjack. Awesome. Well, I'm glad it came across. I'm glad that the picture came across. I'm glad that this Night Vision one comes across. It's putting it together real quick. The cave one looks like you were photobombing that poor troglodyte. So yeah, pretty much. It's just designed, just to have something fun there, so just to put something up. Very similar to the other ones. Very similar to the other ones that I did, where it was me as Spaulding. I thought me as Captain Spaulding was pretty good. That was my wife's makeup job. She did really, really well. Me as Mick. Me in The Descent. Me pouring water on a Mogwai. Me with the Jason statue. So, and then a couple pictures of me at the podcast. I had to put it the one with me and Tom Atkins, because Tom Atkins is amazing. So... But yeah, so I figured I wanted to put it together, but I really like the one that my wife did of me as Spaulding. That one came out super, super well. I was really pleased with her makeup effects. So, and I can tell you, getting my teeth to look that way, not fantastic. But it came out looking magnificent. So I thought that one looked really, really well. Nightmare in Flannel. Absolutely. Peter Noddle says my favorite. Good to see you, Peter Noddle. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Says my favorite is the clown. Yeah, Angela knocked it out of the park with the Captain Spaulding makeup. So she did that really, really well. And so, just doing fun things, just having fun with it, just doing the deal. So I'm glad that they came out all right. I'm glad that people dig them. Try to do a new one for every single round, just so it doesn't get stale. So I want to thank you for all of the all the big voters. Thank you all so very, very much for everybody who voted. Just remember, you can vote every single day. It just reset because they just did the cut to the top 5. So I have advanced to the top 5, which I'm very, very pleased about because of y'all's support. Brian Powell, have a great one. So good night, everyone. I have to get to bed so I can get to Charlotte, North Carolina tomorrow. Be ready for Johnny O's live stream. Fantastic. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Let me see. Gallon says, that's the picture I asked last week behind your shoulder in the wall. Yeah, the Jason. Yeah, that's him right there. Getting Trump before makeup vibes. Absolutely. All right, so that was just a lot of fun. So yeah, currently, so as it stands, for the Face of Horror contest, I have advanced to the top 5. I have all of you to thank for that. The link is down there in the description, and of course, it's right here in the live chat. So if you haven't had an opportunity to go vote, you can vote for me there. Peter Noddle says, how did you do the teeth? So, my wife got this product that you get, and it's essentially kind of like this dark kind of brownish, blackish, and it gets darker when it gets wet. And you take it and you basically rub it into your gums and into your teeth. So you rub, and then it gets into your teeth. It tastes awful. And unfortunately, what happens is that when you're smiling and you kind of gotta hold it. And when you take multiple photos over a period of time, you've got to keep reapplying it because eventually it'll wash out of your mouth. But you basically grind it down there so that it gets into the space of your teeth, and then you can pose and go like this, and you can have the moment. So on a film set, every time they cut, they most likely had to do a reapplication of Sid Haig's makeup for his teeth. But what we also know that a part of that movie he had falsies made. So there were actually 2 sets. There was the makeup done on his teeth. Then there was the false set of teeth, which made him look completely straight, which were all used for the commercial stuff they did when he was doing Spalding for president and stuff. And then there was his real the other fake teeth when he didn't have his other fake teeth in, which made him look all snaggled and gross and disgusting. So have a great night, Peachy Tony. Thank you for hanging out, bud. I do appreciate it. I hope you're feeling better soon. Get some rest. And I hope we get to talk soon, man, because I miss you. We all miss you. All of the beardsmen miss you badly. So I hope you're feeling better much sooner. So as soon as possible. So rest up. So yeah, basically like dentures or like falsies that would fit over your teeth. So you would basically put these fake teeth into your mouth, and it'd be like a retainer. But because you can make prosthetics that have teeth built into them, and you can just go, and they fit over your teeth in order to give the appearance of that. So they're expensive, but they're a film production, and they had 2 sets made for his when he was normal, like you see in Devil's Rejects when he wakes up after the dream with the prostitutes. You can see his normal teeth, and they're absolutely atrocious. But then when he does the Captain Spaulding routine, he puts in another set of falsies that makes him look all nice and straight and even. So, but yeah. And then, of course, if you just have to go really cheap, there's the makeup you can apply, but it requires a lot of consistent of a reapplication for every single photo, every single take. Because the minute you move your lips, you can end up washing it away. But it was really gross because you got to rub it in there, and it kind of builds up, and it just doesn't taste good. Temporary prosthetic teeth, actually, $40 kit. So the whole point is that when you're doing a film set usually lasts about 90 days. You need those things to be able to hold up and last. So yeah, so typically, more than likely, he went in and they had a dentist fit him for a mold, and then they make the mold of the teeth, the dentures that he can wear. Then the makeup artist gets it, or then the effects artist gets it, and then they design them to look a specific way. And then once they've done, he can just pop them right in. So, all right. So we did some updates on Face of Horror, and we're looking good there. And so I've advanced to the top 5. We looked at some trailers for some movies out there, and then of course looked at some debunked some spooky vids, which weren't really spooky once we debunked them. So this was a fun time. We've been live for about 2 hours 37 minutes. I think this is a good enough point. I know that it's like 12:07 where I am. It's just after midnight, so I think everybody's getting tired and it's time to go. So I want to thank everybody in the chat. So a huge giant thank you for everyone for hanging out with me and helping me to get to the top 5 in Face of Horror. And of course, we're going to do this again next week. Is when this is when things get interesting, because when we get to next week, they're going to make the cut to like the top 2. And so then we move on, then votes start getting reset, and we're going to walk through the whole thing. But in essence, the best way for me to win is if I stay in first slot the whole time I'm in it. And so you have the link there to cast votes. I appreciate that. And you can either do your daily vote, or you can donate to B Plus Foundation, which is a good foundation, and you get additional votes for doing that. It's all on the website. So thank you all for that. And, of course, thank you to all of the channel members, all of the members of the Godless Army. You help to support me in the stuff that I do here. I really do appreciate that. And thank you to all of the Super Chats. Those Super Chats go to pretty much help me keep doing this so that I don't have to use my my universal HVAC certification and go out there and start working on people's air conditioners, because it's decent money, but it sucks. So, Bridge Divide says, yeah, I molded my gums in a set of fakes for the heck of it. You have to buy a recliner separate, though. Gotcha. So, but thank you to all of the Super Chats. Thank you to all of the support, everybody. If you do want to become a member of the Godless Army, it's 99 cents per month. It's down there. The link is down there in the description. You get access to all of the custom emojis that I make for you. And, of course, you get access to the channel badge. So, appreciate everybody hanging out. This has been an absolute blast. And then I guess we'll see you in the next one. So I have more creative content coming out on Bridge the Divide. Of course, Week in Horror, the podcast show, is every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. If you subscribe to Week in Horror, the link for that is in the description as well. Then you'll get that notification. You come hang out with us at in the live chat. When we do the live show before the audio goes out to all the podcast sites. So y'all have been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Wouldn't it be so cool if I actually won this thing? You know, because next year I know Aaron's going to try and go for it. So, but wouldn't it be badass if I won this, if I actually took this home? Oh, it would be amazing. All because of y'all. So thank you all so very, very much. This was an absolute blast. Oh, buddy. It's that spooky time of the season. I'm looking forward to it. So I think it's it. I really don't have an outro for doing this horror stream, because it's not really a Bridge the Divide stream, you know? So, I'll tell you what. So, I think that's pretty much it. So, as always, be safe, be excellent to each other. I'll see you next time. Stay safe in this spooky season. Let's all have fun this month. I'll see you on the next one. Hey, Adam Strange. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for being here. Aaron Ray says, if I lose, I'll let you sleep in my people pit one night. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It'll make up for it. So, I appreciate everybody hanging out. It's been an absolute blast. All the love. Stay safe out there. And I will see you on the next one.